We are now live. There we go. All right. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Be stopping by at some point here in the live stream, but also may not. So for right now, we're gonna make do with what we got here, which is my wonderful co-hosts, as it were. These guys are amazing. Before we even get going, though, I think some introductions are obviously in order. I would like Kryz and Redcon, both you guys, I'll go last here, to go ahead and introduce yourselves, give everybody an idea of who you are for our respective communities here that may not know who you guys are. What's your guys' experience on the platforms you've been streaming on, how long you've been streaming, how long you've been over on Kick for. Just kind of give them like a rough little little history check for yourselves, so you guys can fight over who goes first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Yep.
I streamed Redcon 1, military vet. Streamed on Twitch for roughly 2 years. Didn't see much traction over there. Jumped over to Kick. I was just going to try it for a day. I had 10 people watching me on my first stream. And then the second day, I made affiliate. So it was instantly like a jump. So I was like, okay, well, this is where I'm going to be. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's awesome.
Nice.
My name is Kryz. I am a streamer for about a year and 3 months. I started up on YouTube. Then I switched over to Kick and YouTube on a simulcast. I've been with Kick since March. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for doing this. Let's go.
Yes, sir. All right. And as I was saying before, excuse me, guys, I do have a bottle of water here in case I need to freaking drown my sorrows. I am Eliminate. I gotta say, man, we're going at it hard tonight, guys. I'm a couple of bottles into water already. We're not, yeah, exactly. The discussion get a little more animated. Yeah. We'll get to the heavy stuff depending how well. Yeah, depending. Dude, no, it's
cheers,
the Sonny,
cheers,
man. The Sonny, come on, you gotta represent, dude. Freaking A. And I am not sponsored by the Sony in any way, shape, or form yet. Plug there. But anyways, guys, I am Eliminate. I've been streaming, I'm making the content, so to speak, for, gosh, what has it been, like, freaking probably like 6 years now. Mainly over on Twitch. I was over there for quite a long time. I started off streaming on the Twitch app on my Xbox One way back when. That's how I first got into it. And yeah, and I was, dude, that was way back when. That's how I first got into it. And I was actually making content before then. Just because I didn't have the internet to actually stream, but I had the internet to upload videos on. So I actually had a YouTube channel I was kind of run there. It was a different one, kind of small one. But it's on Twitch for quite a long while. Ended up switching to a PC, started using the OBS and getting a little bit more elaborate setup and stuff. And then ended up getting kind of fed up with the whole landscape of Twitch and whatnot. That had been a long, ongoing process. Went over to YouTube, was on there for a couple months, was doing really well over there. Had a good freaking traction going, getting the viewers in and that kind of stuff. And then my channel got hacked over on YouTube, and by the time I got it back, all my traction had basically disappeared. So I ended up having to go back to Twitch, which I did for like a month or two. But then I heard about Kick and did my due diligence, did my due research and stuff because I was hearing nothing but negativity about it. And being the sensible person that I am, not just believing the hype, because as I've said before, if there's that much freaking hype, positively or negatively, there's usually something that's not quite right there. You need to look into it. Mixed responses are usually a lot more truthful than just overwhelmingly positive or overwhelmingly negative. I mean, not to say that's never true, but yeah. Anyways, looked into it and I decided to take the leap, and I've been over here on Kick for, Lord, how long has it been? Like coming up on 3 months, actually. We're about a week or a little over a week away from 3 months now. And man, it's been awesome. Freaking hype and everything's been going on. Also, guys, want to make sure that everybody in the respective chats know we talked about this before the stream went live. Those of you guys who have not been part of a podcast stream, you guys are probably used to some degree of interaction from us in our streams. Do not feel bad if you think that we're quote-unquote ignoring you. That's not the case. We should have at least one moderator live in the stream at some point. We hope you guys take this time to get to know each other, discourse with each other, obviously, spend this time just talking one-on-one. It's going to be a unique experience for you guys as well. because I know you guys are used to some interaction on our part. We're not going to be looking over and just going down through the list of like, hey, so-and-so, because we're going to have discussion going here. We're going to have some traction going here. We don't lose our train of thought. We definitely don't want to be ignoring each other either. So we're going to keep this situation rolling. And depending how quickly we can work through our questions we've made up for each other and comments and all that stuff, we might actually even have like a kind of a community group discussion maybe at the end, depending on what time frame we're looking at. If we maybe get some questions from you guys, something you want to ask us specifically as the group, then we can kind of touch bases on. But that's all we're not promising nothing, obviously. If we're here till midnight just talking amongst each other, it's not going to be over here in a freaking drunken stupor. So anyways, once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. Once again, I want to thank Kryz and Redcon for deciding to take part in this. And if you guys have not done so already, I know this goes without saying, obviously. Go over and give those guys a follow. They're also live streaming this right now from people in my own personal community. Most of you guys already have, I know, because you guys are awesome. But if you guys have not done so, please drop these guys a follow. They're amazing content creators. Great freaking personalities. Not the normal freaking paint peeling scenario. Watching that dry, you're like, oh, okay, this is really fun. So... all right, so I figured that the easiest way for us to do this, guys, to get this ball rolling, is for our questionnaire to just go through it in alphabetical order, probably, like for our names. So if you guys are chill with it, I'll probably just pose a question first, and then Kryz can go next, and then Redcon. And like I said, I had these guys prepare like at least 3 questions. We'll see how many we get through, and I'm sure there'll be some more that pop up once we get into your guys' chats as well. And some of them may coincide, some may overlap. So I'm choosing the alphabetical thing because I get to go first, and making sure nobody takes my question. So it's all part of my strategy, but I had a good reason for it. Anyways, all right, guys. So most of us know about that live stream that happened. I think most of us saw that live stream that happened here. Just got hosted. Sorry, real quick. Thanks for that, man. Not going any further than that. Like I said, we're not interacting with our chats. He's already breaking his own rule. Damn it! I do appreciate that, buddy. So most of us saw the live stream that I forget the guy's name, but he was actually interviewing was it the dev or the owner of Kick? Did you guys see that one?
Eddie, yeah.
Eddie, yes,
Jake Lucky.
Yes,
Jake Lucky was interviewing Eddie. Yeah,
that's why you're here. That's why you're here, Kryz, because you remember the names. So you're like the secretary of this freaking group. All right. So but you guys both saw that interview, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes.
Redcon, you saw that interview as well.
I don't. Maybe. I mean, I saw snippets of it.
Okay. I didn't want to. The thing is, I didn't want to go too much into that if we'd already seen it and kind of, because a lot of stuff that they covered were some pretty core questions that I know have been on the community's radar for a while now. But one of the things that they kind of touched base on was a question I actually want to pose to you guys, and that is, hang on, I actually have it written down here. I actually have a list of stuff written down here. Let me see what I got here. Oh yeah, so. Because I got a long list, man. I wrote this out. Okay, so one of the things that's I know a big concern for a lot of creators on here, and it is for me as well. I know this is something I've been thinking about before this discussion even came up on that live stream, is about ads. Ads being brought out on the platform. Obviously, right now, Kick is an ad-free experience, and we've been enjoying that whole grace period, as it were. And of course, in that interview, Eddie basically all around basically confirmed that ads will be coming to the platform at some point. It's kind of inevitable. With the 95-to-5 payout, and obviously with the platform growing. When it first started, they were able to sustain that with the majority of the streams being gambling streams. They were able to make a lot of the money to sustain it off of that. The more content creators coming in that aren't part of that freaking grouping, it's going to be harder for them to sustain that because the influx of money is outweighing the amount of freaking people in the consumers on the platform, which makes total sense, and I understand that. So obviously they want to make that as non-invasive of a situation as possible for us. They basically voiced that as well. We've all been over to Twitch at some point. We've already seen the freaking situation. You go over there, even just visiting. Like hell, I went over visiting someone's freaking stream. I haven't been on Kick or Twitch in forever. Basically, since I came over here for months. And I went over to someone's stream the other night, and I was immediately bombarded with like not 1, not 2, not 3, but like 6 freaking ads before I could even get into their stream and start watching their content. So obviously, we don't want that. Maybe you guys do. I don't know. But I just want to touch base with you guys and get your guys' feedback. Obviously, ad revenue is something that's going to be coming. A way to sustain the platform. How would you guys like to see that mechanic, so to speak, implemented on the platform? Like, how severe do you want to be? Do you think that we should have? I don't give you guys your answers. I want you guys to elaborate, obviously yourself. But do you think we should have what degree of control we should have as the freaking users? Just give me you guys feedback on that. Either of you guys can answer that first. What do you guys think?
Nobody likes ads. YouTube recently have been bombarded with ads as well as Twitch. YouTube right now, currently for streamers and any other video content that you go and watch, is like, you get hit back to back with ads. Once it gets to the good part of the video, hit with an ad. Especially if you're listening to music and you're listening to a live set of musicians, it gets to a good part, ads. The way, it's inevitable, it's gonna happen. I wish it didn't, but there has to be a way where you can do an in-picture ad instead of bombarding a whole full screen. I mean, like I said, I've never streamed on Twitch, but to your point, Eliminate, I went on someone's stream 4 days ago, dropped a follow because a friend of mine hosted them. It was like, hey, listen, go give him a follow. Give him a follow. I know he was saying, hey, thank you for the follow. How are you? This by reading his lips. But I was hit with an ad, and me joking around, I was just like, hey man, yeah, you're welcome for your follow. I appreciate you too. I know that's what you're saying, but I'm watching this ad. I was being an asshole about it. Excuse my French. But because that's how I am. But yeah, it's annoying. It's like there's a better way to do it, and I think in picture ad with a medium volume for the ad that doesn't overtake your stream. Because that's what the stream is about, is interacting with your community. That's the key essential. And to take that away from the content creator and the viewer is criminal. It's so bad. But that's my point. Yeah. That's my take.
Especially the way
I agree completely.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Redcon. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I agree completely. I don't think that there should even be audio playing. I think it should be like you said, in-picture ad, left side of the screen, only takes up maybe 10% of the screen, maybe 20%. Maybe it just depends, and that's it. I mean, I think that's all it really needs to be done. I mean, you're still getting the ad out there, it's there in your face, it lasts 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it's gone, done. Right.
Can I ask you guys a question? Sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, you're good. Go ahead.
We're not done with my question yet.
I'm sorry. No, but my question for you guys is: these platforms know that the viewer and the creator don't like ads, yet they still haven't found a solution for this problem, and they're fully aware of it. And I think that the people running these platforms know that people don't want ads. So why don't they? Exactly, because financially is that they're getting money from the ad revenue that they're showing, but there has to be a way where it's just like you can't just be overly aggressive with it. And Twitch is overly aggressive, and so is YouTube. So,
right. Well, Twitch is by far the most aggressive. I mean, I would say that Twitch is by far, when it comes to their ad revenue and the way that they implement it, is by far the most freaking aggressive one. Granted, freaking YouTube's no freaking slice of cake either. I mean, like, it's getting worse. I remember back when you used to watch videos and it was very rare for you to see an ad, and then it's like, okay, well, they got one ad popping up every once in a while. Okay, now we got freaking 2 ads popping up, but you can skip the second one, but you can't skip the first one now. It's like, it's very, like, if you can actually get a scenario where a video pops up on YouTube and it gives the option to skip the ad in the first, it's like you won the lottery, dude. It's like you have the option to skip the freaking video or the ad in the first one. Like, yes, I don't have to watch the second one. It's the little victories, and it's like, it's getting crazy. But with Twitch, I mean, you guys know, it's kind of polar opposite of what you were saying. Like, you're saying, like, it should be boxed somewhere off the freaking stream, the ads playing, and I think that there should be an option, first off, when it comes to ads. I'm kind of answering my own question. I just want to let you guys comment first. I'm not against the idea of ads per se, but it has to be very controlled. And I think that the ad should actually be something that relates to us as gamers. I hate the fact that when ads are popping up for freaking My Little Pony or freaking some sort of freaking strawberry flavored shampoo has absolutely nothing to do with video games. There should be ads popping up for video games or something video game related. Something that I think that gamers, if you're going to pop something up on the screen, at least make it something that relates to us. You know what I mean? Something that and I think that there should be a certain level of control that we as the content creators get to have as well. It shouldn't be something that is just like, okay, well, you're stuck with this many ads, this is when they're going to be playing, screw you on the consequences. I think that if you know that ads are coming and you can kind of plan your stream around, I think Twitch does kind of offer that to a certain extent, but you can actually plan for an ad to play a certain time, and if you know that you're going to maybe want to take a break, get up, take a piss, whatever, and so it's kind of a coordinated thing. You step up, you take a piss, you come back in 60 seconds, no harm, no foul, fine. But the fact that as soon as you jump into the freaking stream, you're bombarded with ads. As soon as something freaking, like you're talking about, you're talking to someone's freaking channel, talking their freaking chat, and you just did something nice for them, and they're in the middle of talking to you, this ad pops up, and if you're on Twitch, the ad takes up like seriously 100% of the screen and you get like a little 5% margin, you can see what's going on if you have a freaking microscope, but you can't hear anything. It's like all you're hearing is the ad and the ad and the ad, because there's 5 of them played back and forth, and you're seeing the guy like literally his expression going off. You know, if you look really closely, you squint, look at him, you're like, I think I see him. You know, and he's like going off and he's being all scripted and like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. But all you see is giving his life story and you don't freaking even know what's going on. So obviously I'm with you guys. There's a better way to do it. I'm not against ads, because ads is a very, let me correct myself. It can be a very simple way to take care of monetization in a way that they will not have to dip into other areas like Twitch is doing when it comes to our individual incomes and with payouts and that kind of thing, and being super aggressive with that. It's a very simple fix, but it has to be handled correctly so it doesn't turn into another freaking Twitch or YouTube, is my thought. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this leads also to one of my questions that I had. In time, do you think DMCA will be a serious issue on Kick as well? And that is a more serious issue.
For those people in the chat that don't know what DMCA is, could you explain what that is?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't even know the acronym. I gotta look it up real quick.
Wait, give a second, guys. Gonna Google it. I'm gonna let him Google it.
Yeah. It's the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. So that basically everything is copyrighted. Any music that you have on your stream, any video that you're watching, like a TV show, movie, is DMCA copyrighted. So this is crazy. XQC actually got in trouble by Kick because he showed 3 films back to back, and Kick was like, "Hey, dude, you know this guy is showcasing this to 60,000 viewers." They're like, "Hey, God, you can't be doing this. You can't be showing any TV shows or any." Yeah. So, but to this point, is where does Kick come in and say, hey, listen, enough is enough. We have to take control, because once the lawsuits come, that's it. It's over. It's downhill, because those lawyers will go after and get their money for their estates, for their record labels, for their studio, film studios, execs. So it's, I don't know. Do you guys think that will be an issue further, down the line?
Absolutely. I was actually just talking with my mod earlier about how on Twitch you can separate your audio tracks for, like, if you listen to music and stuff like that, so it's not captured in your VOD. And I would love for Kick to do it. I have reached out to Kick and talked to staff about it. They just gave me a generic, hey, yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Redcon's verified, by the way. Redcon's one of them verified folks, so he's got the inside skivvy with those guys. Got that green check mark. So
I follow Redcon.
Pocket man, so don't get on his bad side. He will tear you up.
Also, too, since you're verified, how is the working with the, what is it? You get your own customer service department. How is that compared to Twitch? I mean, I've never streamed on Twitch, so I don't know. I heard like nightmare stories that they won't even answer you, and they'll take a year to answer you back or something. But
within minutes, dude.
Really?
Minutes. If I click the green little K over here in the corner, it pops up with a message, like, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I type in my question or my issue, and within minutes, dude, they've already responded on there and by email. So awesome. It's quick. It's quick, man. Yeah. So like whenever we're having the issue with all the follow botting and all that, like just all that crazy stuff that was happening, yeah, man, I told them about it and they were like, yep, we're aware. We got you. And then within, I guess, maybe 6 hours of me ending my stream, I was back to normal.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
That's great to hear.
That's awesome.
They're on it. They're on it.
So they're actually putting in the work with the issue that you have. That's great to hear as a creator. It's like you want to give your feedback to better the platform, and then they're stepping up saying, hey, we're working with you. On the other end, Twitch is like, yeah, we don't want to work with you. We want to own you, basically.
Oh,
in
dude,
a sense.
It's gone as far as I have staff members that have added me on Discord. If I need anything, I just DM them. Like it's good. It's wild. It's completely different. I'll put it that way. So that's definitely a plus in my book. Being able to reach out when
to
need
your original. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You good, brother? You good?
Okay. And answer your original
I'm chill,
question,
homie.
though,
I'm chilling.
Chris. That's fine. I don't want to overstep, because you never know if like you're gonna get one of those what is it? Those weather report situations where someone's talking and they're still talking, but you don't think they are because their mouth is still moving, kind of deal. So
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure it's like, thank you, John.
Yeah,
like 10 seconds
Yeah.
later. Anyways, but no, and answer your original comment there, Chris, of the question you posed. I mean, I'm of the impression I always have been, and of course, it's a little bit temperamental. We can come around this subject as well, obviously, when it comes to favoritism, that kind of thing. If you guys want to discuss that as well, when it comes to different platforms, but TOS is the TOS. Okay, they give you very strict, straightforward rules and stuff to apply to you as a content creator. It doesn't take. All it takes is you having a freaking third grade reading level to be able to figure out what they do and don't want you to do. So as far as I'm concerned, you step outside those bounds. Obviously, we've already had those issues. They talked to Eddie about it in his interview a few weeks ago. And he addressed the fact that that's something that they're trying to crack down, something they're looking into, because definitely, especially with the bigger content creators, not only are they putting Kick into a bad light and potential lawsuits, but they're also giving their own freaking users the impressions that, hey, Kick's a platform we can do whatever we want, whenever we want to. And that's definitely not the case. And that's not what you want either. Yeah, it's not what you want either. You don't want that kind of anarchy on your freaking platform, because then that's when you start dealing with freaking people streaming porn, doing certain things that are not, how do I say it, couth on freaking live streams and stuff. So obviously that's a big factor. And I mean, I try to freaking stay away from copyrighted anything at all. Like even the music I play on my streams, I use a specific service. I'm not going to drop their name because that'd be a freaking involuntary plug, obviously, for them. You guys can ask me about it later if you want. But there's a certain service that I use that is nothing but non-copyrighted music. And those of you guys who have heard the music playing in the backgrounds when I'm live streaming, my intros, outros, during my breaks or whatever, that's all non-copyrighted music made by actual people who aren't known, who don't have a name out there in the music world, but are trying to get themselves out there so they can make the music themselves, upload to the platform. You download and use their music. You see their names. So they're getting their names out there in exchange for you using their music for no copyrighted issues. So it's really cool. So there obviously are, so people who have the mentality and are using that as an excuse of, well, the only stuff that I really like to hear and see and do or whatever is the stuff that's copyrighted, so I have no choice. There are things you can do, obviously, to keep that from happening. It just takes a little legwork on your part. So kind of a moot point, as it were. But all right. So does that count as your question, Kryz? Or do you have an actual official one? Okay. Do you want to let Redcon chime in with a question, or what do you want to do?
Sure.
Okay. Redcon, we're skipping to you. What's your question you have on your list?
Oh, you're skipping to me.
I'm skipping to you, yes, because Kryz actually countered my question with a question of his own, so I'm going to count that as his question. I don't want to leave.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. That was lead. Yeah,
I was going to go with something like super simple. Okay, I just want to know.
I saw you cheating, by the way, in your freaking Discord, asking your community what your question should be. When I asked you specifically,
I did, but I got no response.
My homework for me. It's like you strike me as one of those guys who used to bully kids in school for like their lunch money. You just hand your homework.
Oh no, I actually stood up for the kids that got bullied. So, but anyways, man, I just want to know. I just want to know what y'all like the most about Kick, and I want to know your most major complaint about it. Because this is some things that I can relay back, if that makes sense. And I'm asking your community too, if they have any any concerns, complaints, whatever. Yeah. So let me
we'll
hear
get to that section of the discussion at the end if we get into what everybody else has issues with and that kind of thing. Kryz, you want to go first? And when you go first on that, answer that question.
What I like the most about Kick is how welcoming everyone has been. I'm sorry. He stole my question. I had a simple one. Good that we had three questions. That was actually one, and I was like, "What do you like and what do you don't like?" Yeah.
Okay. You first. You still have my answer. What I like the most about Kick is the community. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, everybody's just been so amazing, helping, building each other up, supporting each other as much as they can. And the welcoming factor was huge for me because it's like my buddy Ronan, he started streaming first on Kick. I hopped into his stream and then he hosted, and they were just so like, hey, listen, if you stream, on YouTube, come over to Kick. It's great. We'll help you out. And they did. And it wasn't like, hey, we're going to help you out, but we're not gonna help you out type of thing. It was like, hey, no, we're gonna help you out, and that was great. My complaint, they actually kind of fixed it though. Was basically the hot tub streams being promoted in the front page, and I thought that was a huge W on Kick part, that they gave you the option, okay, you can put that, because at the end of the day is I'm going on Kick to watch other streamers games that I play, and watching creators that I enjoy watching. But they fixed it, which is great. I mean, huge W for them. But that's it.
Okay. Well, my answer, just carbon copy and paste freaking Kryz when it comes to the. I mean, I'll elaborate a little bit on that. I mean, because most of us, to some degree, I think, came from Twitch, or at least have experienced Twitch community of some part. So we have, especially like I said, me streaming as long as I have been, I have firsthand seen Twitch devolve into the madness that it is right now. And it used to be, and one of the things that frustrates me the most about that, most people think that I just hate on Twitch, just harp on Twitch because it's terrible, it's a terrible platform, blah, blah, blah. My frustration is seeded from someone who experienced Twitch when it was good. And it's a frustration that is seeded from seeing what it was and what it's turned into since. I don't hate the platform. I have a lot of great memories on the platform, I just hate what it's become. And knowing how easy it would have been for them to kind of maintain to a certain semblance of order, and them just letting it freaking fall in literal chaos. So obviously it's a breath of fresh air over here on Kick. Like I said, literally within the first freaking week of me coming over here, like I said, basically with nothing. I mean, the time I came over here, I had most of you guys know, I came over with like 5 or 6 people from a freaking channel of like 4,000 over on Twitch, because everyone was believing the counter hype to freaking Kick, and nobody wanted to come over here and spend time here. And like I said, I took the chance, took the shot in the dark, knowing what I was risking, and started basically with nothing. And within the first week, I was affiliated, and it's been nothing but goodness since. And that's a big part, a huge part, due to the fact of like creators like these guys. I mean, people you're meeting on a whim, whether I know most of us, like when we're streaming certain games, like especially when we go to the hosting factor, we want to host somebody from that same freaking game that we're streaming. So, taking our community from our one game to the other, or one stream to the other, but the same kind of platform when it comes to the gaming that we're streaming. So, knowing that we already have that, in common when it comes to the games that we're streaming, automatically makes that connection. But just the kind of like Kryz was always saying, just the overwhelming response. Like, you go over to someone's channel, even if you're not hosting them, but even if you are, but you just go on and you spend time on people's channel. Usually, like, I don't want to say this is like 90% of the time, but it feels that way for me. At least my personal experience says. I don't know what your guys' experience have been like, but before you even drop someone a follow, they're offering to follow you. The content creator, the person streaming, is like, hey man, thanks for coming by. Let me drop you a follow real quick. You haven't even followed their asset. You haven't spent any time on their freaking stream, and they're already offering to freaking shoot you a follow. And they're friendly, and they're happy, they're courteous, they're just so excited that you're here, compared to like over on freaking Twitch, where you get freaking drop someone a freaking, I've done this before, 70, 80 viewer freaking raid, and the person's standing there, basically, let me get my freaking, I gotta play the part here. So you got, just sitting there, like in a drunken stupor playing the game. Here comes the raid notification, turns over, looks at the screen. What's up, man? Goes right back to what he's doing, and that's literally it. Mm-hmm. And we laugh, but that is literally what happens. Yeah, and even if they are kind of excited about the freaking raid you gave them, they're happy about it. They don't offer to show you any support or any love back. You'll never see them back in your freaking stream. You never see any counter love. They just it's expected. Like, what took you so long to get your ass over here and raid my channel? I'm an awesome content creator. It's about time you freaking discovered who I am. As stupid as that may seem, that is literally the impression you get over here on Twitch. Whereas over here, like I said, not even rating somebody or hosting somebody, because no rating over here on Kick, but you go over to their channel, oh my gosh, people are freaking just beside themselves. Yes, dude, freaking A, welcome to this. Oh, dude, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for, because
everyone's excited, brother.
Yeah, people are genuinely freaking happy to see your freaking fat smarmy face in their freaking channel, and that's great. And obviously the argument is, well, it's not gonna be that way forever. It's a new platform. That sense of community is obviously there now, but the more the platform gets, the more it grows, the more these bigger content creators coming over and bringing their communities over, and blah 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 blah. The more toxic it's gonna be, the more this and that and the other, and that sense of community is gonna dwindle. Do I think that's true? I think that it's inevitable that sense of community is going to diminish, but it's not a for sure thing that it's just going to overnight just immediately become freaking Twitch. That's just not the case. And people like us are a big factor in staving that downhill slide, as it were, by continuing to be nice and courteous, and it's just as much your guys' in your power in your guys' hands as well. When you guys freaking make content, it's just as much in your guys' control to be that
Exactly.
other person. I think a big thing that helps us in that regard is the fact that a lot of people coming over from Twitch already have that united freaking feeling of that platform is crap. So we already have that uniting us. So we're all brothers and sisters in arms in that regard already. So we have something that no matter what we're doing, that there's that one fact that we can all agree on. But yeah, I would say it's definitely a positive for me. My long-winded answer, because I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on Kryz's answer, but the community is obviously the biggest factor. The number one thing, and I was actually going to get into this as one of my questions as well, which I might actually counter your question with that question there, Red.
Let's go.
Is kind of like you're talking about like the negative, and my kind of question kind of is my answer as well, like what feature you would like to see the most come to the platform, something that's missing that you think should be coming. Now obviously Eddie and those guys elaborate a little bit on that live stream that they did where they were talking about certain things. They said that they try to implement as many features as possible. They are already on other platforms like YouTube and Twitch and stuff. They're already here. They might not be working correctly, but they're already here and they're working on fixing them. But the only ones that aren't here, they are in the midst of bringing it over, but for a large part, they already have majority of the ones that are here. They just aren't working quite quickly yet. The biggest one that I would like to see, and it's something that I think that Twitch actually hit the nail on the head on, but ended up freaking failing big time on the actual implementation of it, is actually allowing us to tag or apply tags to our streams. And the reason why I think that's a good idea is because anybody spending time on YouTube, you know that's a big factor in getting people's asses to check out your streams. Depending on the tags you pick and how you freaking tag videos and stuff. If someone puts something in the search engine, they're going to pull up your video. It's going to increase chances of your video being found, obviously. Now, over on Twitch, you can put tags in your freaking stream. And obviously, if someone goes and checks your stream, they'll see all the tags you put at the bottom. Okay, so this guy's doing this. This is what he represents. This is his background. He's a veteran, maybe LGT, whatever, whatever. There's something you can put in there to make people automatically relate to you a little bit more. But that's as far as it went. You go to freaking search for, say you go to search for like funny stream or something, like a funny stream, and it's not going to pull up somebody who has a tag for a funny stream. It's just it won't pull up anything. So I think that the tag should be a little bit more incorporated into whatever tags, first off, allow us to do it, allow us to tag our streams, but also allow it so if somebody's searching for a certain style of stream, whether it's a chill stream, whether it's freaking a funny stream, whether it's an interactive community kind of a stream, whatever the tag may be, they just put that in search engine instead of someone's name or instead of the game they're looking for, and it'll pull up a list of freaking streamers who have that tag and they can scroll down. I think it's going to actually evolve the discoverability in a whole nother freaking direction than just somebody looking up a specific game and finding your name in a long list of freaking people. Obviously, this is not that long because we're going to kick. I don't know what you guys think about that. Like, what features you guys like to see kind of along those lines included?
Recon, you can go if you want.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So my main not just my main gripe. A lot of people, or a few in my community, they want to be able to clip within the VOD and make highlights from the VOD, stuff like that. And it's coming, man. It is taking a long time. That was also one of the questions I asked staff about. But definitely clipping the VOD. I want to be able to go back. I want to, have a funny moment, say it wasn't clipped, then I can just clip it. Boom, it's done. You got your clip. I'm gonna pass it on to you. Just got a host.
My one feature that was discussed, I'm not sure if they are going to do it in the future, but I'm a huge YouTube Shorts person, and to incorporate like on the app for Kick type of short style content to preview. If you go to someone's channel, you can have your content that you created in a short form, and if you liked it, you can hit the follow button straight from the phone and get a follow. It widens the discoverability of the creator by doing those small, because that's what we're in right now, is short form content. Same thing with TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and YouTube Shorts works really well. I've gotten a lot of subs off of YouTube Shorts, but to have that on the Kick end where you can keep the cycle within the Kick community would be great. That's one feature I hope that they really do work on.
Right. So how do you feel about their cross clip right now? Have you seen that?
I have not, no.
Okay, so if somebody clips does a clip from your channel, you can go click on your clip, and then there's a cross clip, and that brings up a window, makes a reel for you. You can throw it on TikTok. You can throw it on YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
All that. So it's already there for you. Um, it's just not there for you in the aspect that you want it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah,
But it
I
is
get
there.
what you're saying.
I've seen that
It
feature. I
helps you.
haven't used it yet. I'll be honest. I haven't used that feature. I usually
It
do my
help.
own
Oh,
editing, so
dude,
I
it's
don't usually. I don't.
amazing.
Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
thing.
Good.
It helps
Yeah.
the person have the ability to edit their own videos, which is great. I like eliminate. I create my own videos in a short form. I put everything in there on a different editing software. But as for the app itself on a phone, because majority, I would like to say, and I'm generalizing here, but a majority of viewers are mostly on their phones, especially if they're out or whatever. But to be able to be like, okay, or maybe even in picture within the app, be like, okay, so it goes into a in picture, and you can go and look at their shorts and be like, oh wow, this guy's kind of interesting. You know, follow. This is cool. I like this video, and then remix it too, just like TikTok does, where everybody can use your content. But like you said, these things are definitely in the works. Probably, I heard about it.
Just real quick, by the way, guys, anybody who's currently in the chat, just so you know, speaking of how wonderful Kick the platform is, it just had a mental hiccup and crashed my stream for about 10 seconds, so everyone has to refresh. Just FYI. In case you're in here. And that sometimes happens. Nothing on my end.
Beta.
Kick just sometimes Kick sometimes drops the ball, ladies. Sometimes it will have a mental freaking. And the only thing that happens is it keeps it in one freaking long stream, but it will, unfortunately, anybody that's lurking and not an active freaking viewer, it will drop. So just so you guys know, if you look over at the screen, you see my frozen face, and these guys were like, "That's why." Because you got to refresh. You got to refresh the stream. So I'm sure that I'll catch. My viewer count just went from like 35 down to 12. So refresh, damn it, get it going. Anyways, so yeah,
Let me refresh.
that's one of the things I really would like them to see them fix is because you're talking about like being the ability to share and stuff, obviously clips and stuff. I really like this smoothness. One of the things I wish they would get kind of up to speed on. I know they're working on it, obviously. There's only so much they can concentrate on at one time over there. But just getting the actual clip feature working correctly. Because half the time I'm trying to clip something from my creator dashboard here on Kick, and it's not even letting me do it. So I have to actually have another tab pulled up of my stream, clip it from there, and then it takes literally 5 minutes for the clip to render on the freaking page so I can actually go in, pick the time frame I want to, title it and everything, and then hit the save button. And I'm trying to do that while I'm in the middle of streaming. So there's like some moments where I have a clip that I really want to save in my freaking dashboard, and I'm just sitting there staring at my screen saying, don't worry guys, we'll get back to the content. So obviously you need to speed that up, you need to streamline that a little bit. It's a work in progress, because that's something not just for the fact of just clipping something that I want to obviously have the ease of going into downloading that clip instead of going back into the whole stream or whatever and actually being able to take that, download it, edit it. It makes the process a lot simpler. But also the fact there's multiple times when I'm streaming something and something goes wrong and I want to play it back in slow motion or go over it, especially as first person shooter, just commenting and raging on the BS that happened. And that's a big part of my freaking content, is reliving those moments. And I can't really do that here because via Kick, so to speak, because the freaking clipping thing is not up to date. So hoping that gets taken care of here soon, because that's a big part of like you're just talking about discoverability, Kryz, like you were talking about. Because I mean, you go look up any specific game on any streaming platform, it should automatically pull up all the clips. If you go to the clip section, all the clips that are there too. So you just scroll around, you find, oh, that clip looks interesting, and there you go. Someone actually found your channel through the clip you recorded. So, okay, so Kryz, back to you. So you can actually ask one of the actual questions on your list instead of piggybacking off one another one. What's the question you got?
All right. So we all know that there was a huge issue with other streamers, not going to mention names, but about Kick and partnership with Stake, crypto gambling casino. Would it have been better if Stake would have never mentioned their partnership with Kick? If Kick would have just came out the gate and be like, hey, this is our platform, and not mentioned themselves as a partner?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think them being upfront, honest right out of the gate was the right call.
Okay.
There's nothing to be gained from them trying to be deceptive about it, because at that point, because anybody will obviously anybody has an issue with gambling is going to have an issue with gambling. That's not going to change. But there's some people don't have issues with gambling, but have an issue with dishonesty. And so if you add that factor in, you're just like, okay, well, Stake's a silent partner. some people are going to see that as, okay, well, why are you being so silent about this? What's the problem? Especially the whole thing that went down with Twitch. So I think them being upfront honest, basically saying, hey, we're backing these guys. We are basically a partner in this whole endeavor. And, we can comment more and talk about whether or not you think that they're going to, even Eddie kind of communicated with that, whether or not that they're going to be like a huge factor in their freaking platform. Are they going to get to the point with the growth and stuff? They're going to be self-sufficient. They don't really need to have stake be a primary resource, so to say, input for their platform. But I think that they made the right call by being completely upfront and honest and saying, hey, we're here, we're part of this, and then let the chips fall where they may. And they basically have. People are making the decision and been deciding for themselves. But if you don't give them that option to do that, then it comes across as like, what are you guys hiding? Why'd you guys hide this from us? I don't know what Redcon thinks, but
I mean, I'm basically the same thing. I think that if they would have kept it under wraps, maybe there wouldn't have been so much disdain at first. However, like you said, they come in and they find out, like, well, why were they so quiet about it? Then you've got questions. So I think the way that they did it, man, honestly, yeah, I think it was the right way to go.
perfect.
All right.
Alrighty. You're up, Redcon.
Yep, I'm getting it. All right, so let's see. So is having a particular type of stream helpful or hindering to the cause? For more details, let's say like choosing just chatting when watching YouTube movie engagement, to chat with just sitting there versus gameplay. Do you think that would hinder you? You think that it would, or that it's better to do that?
You mean like having like a broad spectrum of I'm going live and then people just discovering you randomly, or having an actual like selected thing you're streaming under? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
So you're asking if you think that's basically putting us aside to one specific like genre is, or whatever category you want to put yourself under, is hindering you as a streamer and discoverability.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good question.
See, it's one of those questions that could go either way, I feel, in a lot of ways. I think there's a pro and con to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it comes to discoverability, for the most part, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people that are browsing. There's plenty of people out there that literally are just going from one stream to the other. And, there have been studies that have been done on this. People's attention spans last all of you have like, 6-7 seconds to grab their attention before they shut off and go on their merry way. That's why what Kryz was talking about, like the shorts and stuff. Why they're so popular is because there's these little snippets. It's all thrown at you at once. There's none of this fluff you got to cut through to get to that point. So, but there's also something to be said for giving people a specific selection in case they're looking for something specific. If somebody wants to watch Call of Duty, well, they don't want to go to the dashboard and scroll down through freaking 500 creators just to find the first Call of Duty stream and then and then they're basically stuck with the first person they come across because they wasted all that time trying to find the damn person. And like, okay, well, this is the first one I found, so I guess we're watching him. Regardless of what a stream title is or how dorky his freaking content is, we're gonna because I want some Call of Duty, damn it. So I like I said, I think that there's pros and cons to both in the way of discoverability. But I'm not against having the whole process streamlined and categorized. I think that is probably, of the two scenarios, that's probably the most beneficial when it comes to content creator and helping you get discovered. And not only that, but helping people also support each other and discover each other to support each other in that exact same genre, like I was talking about before. You want to go host somebody, well, you want to host somebody or show them love for the same game that you're playing, show them love as well. Well, if you got to freaking do the exact same thing, you got to scroll down forever. Well, you're live, man. You're live. You're talking to people. How long you gonna spend talking to people, thanking them for showing up? You're gonna thank them for the 50th time for showing up while you're stalling, trying to find the next person to freaking host. It's a pain in the ass. So that's my take on it. It's a good question though. I think it's a question that obviously these guys, it's a balancing act. You gotta don't make things too busy, but you also don't make them too jam packed either.
Right.
So in terms of the playing like a specific game, like let's say Modern Warfare, would it be best to I know when I go to like host I try to host people who are playing the same game, it's like a pyramid, so it's like the most viewers all the way straight down. Can we possibly mix that up in a sense? Would that be a bad decision to make?
I don't think so.
Like to have
like
everyone
viewers and stuff, like the amount of viewer counter you have.
Yeah, so like it's a pyramid. So it's basically, all right, you have someone who has 1,000 viewers, and then all the way at the bottom you have someone who has 1 viewer. why not have that one viewer somewhere to where they can be discovered, and someone could potentially be like, hey, I like this person. That would help as well, to have him, jumbled up and maybe not see the viewers. You just have the categories like it is now, and just not have viewers, and just be like, oh, you can pick this. I don't know. Does that sound too much?
Dashboard in a way is kind of already that, because it gives you random curators and random freaking viewers. It's not everybody on the dashboard. I mean, granted, a majority of them have like a few hundred, if not more, freaking viewers. But I've seen people on there on the dashboard just randomly placed there. They'll have like 12 viewers. So obviously that mechanic is already in place to a certain extent. I know what you're saying, but I don't think that people obviously who put the hard work in and are obviously already freaking hitting it off on whatever platform they're on should be. I know it's not going to be, I got to be careful with my wording here, but I don't think that they should look upon it as they're getting punished or not getting their due diligence for obviously having put the time and effort into the platform. Them getting bumped down on the actual specific, what it's talking about, the category you're freaking streaming under. I think that at that point, if you've already put the legwork in and you have the freaking viewers and your channel has popped off, in that regard, if someone's looking for something specific, you should be at the top, because you at that point are a very prominent streamer in that specific platform. You've earned the right to be there. You put the time and effort in. And so you should be rewarded. I don't think that you should be, because at that point, there's no point. There's no point really grinding for it, because you're going to be, you could be at any given time freaking bump further down the dashboard. So randomization, could they make that better? Sure. I mean, I guess they could add more small time content creators, not so view people on the main dashboard, or maybe make up a separate category specifically for like small content creators. Like if they put someone wants to actually they feel a need to go and support someone's small time content creator or someone that's just getting started, they could have a category specifically for that. You click on that.
So like a subcategory, if you will, right? Yeah, I agree with that too. That would work.
Less, like whether cool. The algorithm is based off of someone who has 50 or fewer followers, or like 100 fewer followers, or our viewer counters taken into account as well. So you can look for small time content creators in there if you're feeling that that's where you want to go for the. I think that's not a problem with that. So I'm not against them adding something like that. But as for like futzing with the actual like category thing, I think it should stay the way it is.
Say the same.
It definitely needs to be subcategory. I was gonna say, man, I feel like I'm a different breed because I use my channel to help people. And if I see like someone that I'm following and they have not made affiliate, like I'm hosting them. You know what I mean? Like I want to push them to at least affiliate. After that, it depends on everything else. Like how they interact and everything like that. And I mean that still does play a big part if I'm gonna host as well. I mean, if they're straight up just no camera and they're just dead, then I'm probably not. I'm just saying.
Right.
But
there's certain level of
because I don't want my community to come back at me and be like, "What have you done?"
Dude's flatline over there, dude.
right. Yeah, like what you're saying earlier, bro. Like, nah, I'm not sending my people over there for that. But I definitely want to send, my squad, my army, and help some people who haven't even made affiliate yet that I feel freaking deserve it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And some people it's more difficult. I know of one that she's super like not. I mean, she's cool as shit, and she talks with her chat, brings them in on everything, but she doesn't know how to network, and she just. You know what I mean? So, and that's a big part of it is networking.
That's a big factor, man.
We finally pushed her over, and it's been good ever since. So yeah, man, network, and that's what I'm here for. That's why I have it in every stream title, networking. So yeah.
Can I just add that type of mentality is the reason why Kick is winning right now. It's helping other people out, and that's the great part about it. Is like I have a friend that she hopped over from Twitch, and I tried my hardest just to be like, hey, like just dropping her link in chat. Hey, just go follow her. And also too, it's like like with the network aspect, it's like it's for me. I enjoy watching different creators. Like I learn and I observe, and I'm like, wow, what they did there is cool. It gives me great ideas too. So it's like it's great to stop in chats and hang out for a bit, So, but that type of mentality is the reason why Kick is winning. To be honest with you, it's just that right there. And I hope that spark never does.
It won't die with me. Put it that way.
Let's go.
Yeah,
that's what.
And like you said, you're kind of a different breed. I think we're all the same breed. I think we all came from the same litter. So
there we go. Hey.
Yeah,
But I will
but
say
no,
this, guys. I have seen drama. I have seen it. It is here. And it's people who have came over and they're just some of them. I will never drop names. Clout chasing, and even some of your larger folks. They're getting their names thrown under the bus, and some people are even going out of their way to just talk mad shit about them to where they lose their viewer counts and stuff like that. So it is trickling over here. So just be aware, be prepared.
right. Yeah, and actually, it's funny you talk about that because, like you said, I'm not going to drop any names, obviously, but I was dealing with some of that last night. I mean, and
Oh, really?
it's from Twitch. Like,
Yeah,
I have yet to experience any of it from somebody who is here and actually is enjoying the platform and is actually here. It's been people that I knew over on frickin' Twitch and came over here and decided to frickin' cause a ruckus. Every bit of
yep,
drama I've experienced has been in that regard. Now, is that always the
same.
case? No, it's not always going to be the case, but in a lot of ways, like
It's
I said,
been that case so far.
most people coming over here from Twitch to Kick that don't have a burp their ass specifically with you are here because it's kind of like the Pilgrims leaving the Great Britain because they wanted somewhere new to live where they're going to be under the freaking tyrannical rule of the government
It's
and
the
perks and all that
Oregon
stuff
Trail.
and yeah, exactly. So like
The
in a
Oregon
way,
Trail. Yeah.
this is the American colonies over here. This is the start of the freaking kind of a revolution over here on
Love
Kick.
it.
And as funny as that analogy is, it really is the case. People are looking for a harbor in the storm, and we're finding solace in each other's arms and warming up to each other at night, and obviously we're not getting that in depth. That's the next update they'll bring to the platform. The cuddling one. It's the cuddle patch. Looking forward to that one.
Can I just add to that?
God.
So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that happens, right? That you get those type of viewers that switch over from a platform and they're so adamant about being with that one platform. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't trust any platform that much. Kick is doing a great job. I love everybody that I've met so far, but there are a platform just like YouTube, Twitch. It's the bottom line first, and they have a business to run. I understand that, and also, there's a guy called Big E. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him or watched him.
Oh, yeah.
He's big on Kick. He's a huge Kick supporter, and he's the CEO of Kick, which is funny because people come in actually thinking he is the CEO. I did. I got trolled.
So
they called me out. They called me out. My buddy.
Is like, dude, why is this not being taken care of?
The first time I hopped in his chat and I was like, "Oh, the CEO, or whatever," and then my buddy was like, "You idiot! He's not the CEO. He's just that's his name or whatever. That's his persona." But he even says it himself. He was like, branch out. It's okay. It's okay to spread out to different platforms. Like, don't hold someone to, you're beholden to the platform. And, it's just unfortunate people are going down swinging, whether that be it's either they're jealous or they're just afraid to, have that leap of faith and try to expand and do something different. I could understand if you build your community up. So, and you have a huge community and you're trying to transfer over and you're going to start from scratch. That's unfortunate. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? You got to enjoy the process. And that's just my take on that. And it's unfortunate that there are people like that. And I have seen it. I have talked to people like that. But I try to keep my chat, man, just like, hey, listen, I'm here having fun, and I hope you guys are having fun as well, So
That's it, man. And if their community is worth anything, they'll move with them.
that's a huge thing too. You trust your community.
Mm-hmm.
If they really enjoy your content, enjoy you, and love being a part of your community, they will hop over. And
Right.
that's what I firmly believe in. That's the faith that you got to hold on to.
Right.
I'm big on that. So
Yeah. All right. So let me ask my third and final question. Like, I'm thinking of more as we're talking, which is awesome. That's a show that shows that there's some creative juices going here. Obviously this is something that they've dropped information wise on social media. This was a huge thing a few weeks ago when they decided to announce the fact that they were looking to maybe start paying content creators over here on Kick by the hour, an hourly wage, as it were. That was a huge thing. People are blowing up about that, and it was perfectly coinciding with the freaking mad freaking hiccup, purposefully and 100% intentional hiccup that Twitch had with their taking money away from their content creators. Was perfectly timed with Kick saying, "Hey, we're looking to find ways to give you guys money." I thought that was freaking perfect time on that part. I don't know if that was intentional, but kudos and props to Kick for freaking time that out. Whoever's in charge of their freaking advertising department is doing a phenomenal job. Not out of the park for that one. But it just happens. Sometimes it's just the way fates just align. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because like I know that a lot of people and some people even come to my stream and comment on the fact because people have seen like the example of, you know, the big one, like $16 an hour. You're gonna make $16 an hour over a Kick. I've even heard some people talking like in some video games, just in like the game chat, but especially like somebody hears that I'm streaming on Kick, whether I'm talking about it or somebody I'm playing with mentions it. Oh yeah, you're streaming on Kick. Oh, Kick, isn't that the platform where they're gonna be paying you guys what, like 16, 18, $20 an hour to freaking stream over there? It's like you're gonna be able to make a full-time career out of it with that. And obviously even Eddie himself said in the interview that's not the case. Like it's gonna be when that's implemented, it's gonna be based off of what you're bringing to the platform, your viewer, your average viewers, you know, your growth. Are gonna be multiple factors they're gonna be factoring into what you actually get paid. So that was like obviously the extreme end, the $16 an hour. Because my freaking full-time job pays more than that. I know probably in your guys' situations, probably your full-time job pays more than that as well. It's kind of like chump change. Like you get that working at McDonald's for Pete's sake. So you know, but you're obviously going to be gaming and doing something you love. You're willing to take like a pay cut. But like I said, that's the extreme end. Everybody's not going to get $16 an hour. But this is something I have not heard of before now. And I am really intrigued by the thought. Obviously, there's of course some questions about the sustainability of such a freaking undertaking when it comes to how they're going to be able to sustain it, because they're already talking about bringing ad revenue to supplement the whole fact that the 9 to 5 payout isn't quite, you know, they can't keep up with it because which like I said is not a sign of their failing, it's a sign of them actually succeeding, because people are coming over the platform in such a major, massive rush that the 95 to 5 payout from the gambling streams cannot keep up with it, so they have to freaking obviously augment it with something else like the ads and stuff. So anyone over there that's saying, I mentioned this before, it's like the platform's failing. See, they can't keep with the 95 to 5 payouts. They're already lying to you. You're not. There's worse things I could call you, but I'm just gonna say that you are being ignorant in this situation. You're not looking at, you're looking at glass half empty instead of half full. The platform is succeeding, and that's a byproduct of that. So obviously, with thoughts on that already being a thing, and I'm talking about we're gonna pay content creators by the hour when they decide to implement that, depending on what you're worth and what you're bringing to the platform. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Like, are you excited about that? Are you concerned about it? Like, what are your concerns about like what it might do to the platform? Do you think it would actually cause more harm than good? And maybe them having to add just another freaking aspect of revenue encroachment to try to pay for that, which doesn't make sense to them taking money from one freaking pool to just pay it back to you, so to speak. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Man, I'm kind of torn in between it. I mean, honestly, if they did the 16 an hour, I mean, I probably would quit my job for real and go full time. But that's only because I can do that. Not everybody can do that. I don't see it being 16. I've heard it fluxed from cents on the dollar to up to 16, and I mean, I don't know, man. That to me, that's not really sustainable. It's just not, because you'd have. I mean, you're in your achievement section. I'm obviously it's got to be like crazy. You know what I mean? You have to be holding 50 subs. Like it's gonna be something like that. It's got to be, because they can't just do it to everybody. You know what I mean? Like you said, it won't be sustainable. I don't see it being sustainable. So I'm torn in between it, man. Honestly. And now if they did do it, I could see like the really big streamers getting it. Not.
Well, they even said this is a way for like the
I
smaller
know.
content creators to make their money,
Yeah.
because it's like,
Right.
and that's the type of thing actually is kind of an interesting thing. Not to cut you off, obviously, but if they actually what are your thoughts on them actually specifically setting this up for like small time content creators? And once you reach a certain threshold, then and it has to be like a major threshold. I'm talking like a major one. We're obviously making money through multiple other ways, and it's not going to be such a big factor for you. And there's even a threshold of how much money you can make. Like they will go this far and no farther. Once you reach the maximum output, it's not like it can continue to multiply. So you're ultimately going to get to the point where you outgrow that anyways as a content creator. But just to give the smaller content creators something to use and automatically cancel out, do you think it'd be okay? I mean, obviously we're smaller content creators, so we're like, hell yeah, brother, give us the money. You know, I don't want to be like that. I mean, but thinking about logically and actually with a freaking clear mind, do you think that's fair? And would you be okay with that?
If they could sustain it, absolutely. Yes.
Right.
If they have the funding, because there's a lot of us out here now, man. What is it, over 20 million now on the platform?
20? Last time it was 10.
Yeah,
like last week.
It's blowing up. It's like double. I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
It is double.
So
crap. That's insane.
With that being said, if it is sustainable, hell yeah, man. Why not? I mean, dude, I'm still a small streamer. Shit. Like, we're all small streamers, dude. Like, that would be amazing. Yeah, it'd be cool. I wouldn't be able to like for real like cut my full-time job out or anything, but that extra money would be great. So yeah, I'm all for it. Only if it's sustainable. If they are financially set, financially stable in that aspect, and they can do it, sure, man. Even if it's just $5 an hour, even if it's 50 cents an hour, I don't
Right.
care.
Right. Because it's more money than you'd be making otherwise. That's my main thought is it's more money than you'd be making otherwise. And it's a way for you to make some sustainable, as I'm sitting over here having a stroke. If you, it's a sustainable way for you to make some money because subs are inconsistent. Subs aren't always going to happen. Obviously you're a bigger time content creator and you're going to get freaking people giving subs to you. Like it's so random. Like literally my subs are so intermittent on the channel over here on Kick. I had somebody come in like 3 weeks ago, two very well-intentioned, I love them to death, but in that moment, I can only factor it up to brain-damaged people going on a freaking sub war against each other, dropping literally about 100 subs between the two of them on my channel just in a straight-up competition with each other. It wasn't about me, and it wasn't about what I was streaming. It was about these guys trying to out freaking beat each other. Sometimes people lose their minds. That does happen, okay? It's mental instability is a part of the freaking streaming process. But I love these guys to death. Obviously, I freaking give them crap because I love the fact that they were doing that. And I was laughing my ass off the whole time they were doing it. But obviously, that's not the status quo. That's not what always happens. So giving somebody an option to make some money, and like I said, and Eddie phrased it very nicely. And I love the way that he did. And I think he phrased it correctly when he said, it's a way for somebody who has proven and actually has the time and effort put in and has shown that they actually, they have reached a certain plateau. It's not just going to be hand out to everybody. This isn't like a government funded program where, hey, you show up and you get freaking $10 an hour, something for being here. Thanks for showing up on the platform. It's if you've reached a certain thing and you've proven by your statistics that you are there and it's legitimate, you're not freaking futzed your way there, then great. You've earned this. Here's a way for you to earn some more money based off of what you're giving the platform. I think that's an awesome idea. Obviously, like you do, like you said, Red, I have serious questions about the sustainability of that and what they're gonna, because obviously we're talking about funding. We're gonna maybe get in this as well, but obviously they're dropping hundreds of millions of dollars into bringing freaking bigger time content creators over here to this platform. They have the funding. They have a slush fund somewhere. Daddy Warbucks is freaking dipping in his pockets to bring these freaking content creators over here.
Can I make a point about that contract though? So the contract is $100 million. But he has to put in
once.
he has to put in the hours. The 100 million is his, but he has to put in the work. There's always a stipulation. And that's
most people don't understand that.
And people probably saw, hey, $16 an hour, that's great. But like, no. You have to put in the work to obtain that $16 an hour. The $100 million, he has to work for that $100 million. So that means he has to put in hours on the platform.
Yeah,
now
there's stipulations to any contract that is made. It's not just you get this and you just get it automatically no matter what happens.
Yep.
So and not being explicit to one platform, which is amazing.
Yeah, and that's
he's got to put in them hours, man.
That's crazy.
Believe, like literally of everything. This is one of my biggest freaking pet peeves. And I didn't mean to, we're talking about Kick, I didn't mean to freaking talk about Twitch, but it's kind of hard to talk about one without talking about the other. Kind of like having your uncle twice removed that's sitting in the same freaking family get together, and he's sitting in a corner. He's not supposed to be there, so you see him there, but you don't want to talk about him, but he's right there. It's kind of like what's going on with Twitch right now in this discussion. But I cannot believe that they are that they just don't see how much that's hurting their platform. That any other platform you stream on, you're allowed to stream on whatever platform you want at the same time. No freaking issues whatsoever. But when you're on Twitch, it's only Twitch. And it's like the same thing when it comes to the payouts as well. Like a 50-50 payout. We're not budgeting on that. Everybody else is giving more and is flexible and is actually talking about doing other things, implementing like Kick's one of them, like we just talking about, implementing other ways to make you guys money. And Twitch is over there going, nope. No, la 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 la. Everything's fine. La 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 la. Everybody loves their platform. La 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 la. It's just
the $100 million is crazy. The non-exclusive part is the cherry on top with the middle finger to Twitch. Your move now.
Exactly what it was.
And that's exactly what it was. And it's great to see. It's great to see. I mean, they just they get it. They get it. I mean, they have a lot of streamers on their side telling them, hey, listen, do not, do certain things. Do not turn out like them because they're losing right now.
So I know Red kind of already answered the question. I know you kind of hinted on some stuff. I almost said Orty. Orty, by the way, he just rated me. He said he's going to need a minute, but he might be joining us here in a second. So I'm waiting to hear from him, and I might pull him in here. But Do you have anything more to share on that though, Kryz, about the whole freaking paid per hour thing? Like, what are your deep thoughts? Like, how do you think they can sustain that? Do you think it's a good thing?
Same thing. If they can sustain it, why not? It gives people the ability to, you know what, if they enjoy what they do and they have a passion for it, it incentivizes them to actually, you know, put some content out there. But at the same time, you got, where's that money coming from? You know, that's the thing. Where's the money going to come from? You can't just come out of thin air. They have to set a budget aside, and they have to have a budget, and you know that's where ads come in. That's where, you know, a bunch of other things come in, and you know, do you want that? That's the question. Do we, you know, all want that? So at the end of the day, I hope it does. If they can sustain it, why not? Give those people who are adamant and passionate about what they do, and give them a, you know, a livable, not livable wage, but you know, they have they can sustain their lifestyle and also, you know, build a living off their passion. So why not?
Right. Giving them, and this is number one thing I see about the whole thing, is just giving them a glimpse into what their streaming could possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I said, if anybody who's ever been a content creator, and especially when you get affiliated or whatever platform you're on, we get around to making money for the first time. The first time you get that payout, man, and it finally hits you that you're actually getting paid to play video games and whatever capacity it is. I mean, it's just, there's no feeling like it. The first time it happened for me, psyched me out, dude. The first time I got a payout from Twitch for streaming. And I was just sitting my ass playing video games and having fun doing what I do. And then I got paid for it. My first actual payment I got from it, I was blown away. Like, I was actually kind of like, I was getting a little misty out, I'm not going to lie. Because, like, it's every gamer's dream to do what you love. I mean, not just every gamer's dream. Everybody wants to enjoy what they do for a living. And I think it's a big factor, obviously, not go all Dr. Phil on you here, but I mean, it's obviously a big factor into your just all around happiness in life. You know, if you're stressed out every time you go to work, if you hate what you do for a living, not only you got to freaking just dredging and just drudging what you spend a majority of your day doing, you hate doing it. You take that crap home, your family has to deal with it. There's a lot of factors so you already deal with enough crap in your life. If you can enjoy what you do, what you spend a majority of your time doing, oh my gosh, it's one big thing, not one minor thing, but one big thing that you don't have to worry about in the long run. It actually takes a lot of stress off of you. So obviously video gaming is one of those things. We all enjoy playing video games. Now, of course, not everybody that streams is streaming video games. Okay, that's something we got to be clear. I know Kryz can't touch that earlier when he talks about the hot tub stream or the bikinis and whatever freaking they call it that over here on Kick. Most people, when they come over and watch streams, they want to watch video games. You know, that's what most people think. When you think of like live streaming, it's video game related. Not everybody does that. No problem there. You're not going to hear an argument from me on that aspect. But I'm just saying that people want to. I completely lost my train of thought there.
It's all good.
So yeah,
I had something important and my brain just shut off there. As soon as we started talking about the bikini thing, I had to make sure my mind didn't go somewhere bad. So I forced myself to stop thinking, and then I freaking totally forgot what I was gonna say.
Hey, you gotta click that button off, man.
Shut down.
Yeah. It's like the Men in Black with the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
you just kind of stand there, a little drool coming outside your mouth.
But yeah, but to your point, I work on you know, like, to be personal, I work on the what if factor. I work on the you know, I have a full-time job that I enjoy. I'm not passionate about. So this is my passion. This is what I see myself doing. So when I leave my job, literally when I clock out and come home, I go straight to stream for 3-4 hours. So it's, you know, I get up, get my stuff done, go to work, come back, stream. Sometimes, you know, everybody gets their days where they don't want to, but I work on the what if I'm consistent, if I, you know, keep creating, and, you know, because when I started off of YouTube, I didn't have any affiliateship or anything. I didn't get any money for a year and change. So when I came here and got affiliate, I was like, whoa, what is happening right now? This is insane. And I was very appreciative because I know the hard work I put into it. And now, you know, what if I stay consistent and I'm passionate, where am I going to go? You know, and I never thought that anybody would watch me, to be honest with you. I was just like, you know what? I enjoy playing Apex. I enjoy playing Hell Let Loose and Call of Duty. So let's see if anybody out there is going to, you know, enjoy watching gameplay. And sure enough, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. So, yeah. You know, and that's what I go off of. It's just that, you know, that grind. Everybody has to go through it, and you got to also enjoy the process. And I really do enjoy
the journey.
it.
That's a big part of it. Is enjoying the journey.
And there's always going to be ups and downs.
Yes,
And that's
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
And on YouTube, I see it all the time. Sometimes you'll be up, and then sometimes you'll be down. But you know what? You got to keep going. You have to keep grinding through. So
Okay.
you know.
Well, first off, I love how Orty. By the way, Freak, can you hear us? Is your mic working? Your mic is not working. Well, I'm gonna comment on something real quick first. First, I want to make sure his mic is working before I comment on it. We're all just staring at you awkwardly. All of our streams are watching Orty. No pressure. No
I'm not
pressure
sure
right
what
now.
to do with my hands.
Okay, it's working.
Here
It's
we
working
go.
now. I love how like the
Holy
first thing you
moly.
see when Orty freaking gets his camera working, he's looking up the side and then he just goes and just assumes this pondering position, like he's just joining in the conversation, like maybe they would notice I snuck in the back door.
Yeah, it's like it's like what you do when you're like show up to class late. You just kind of look
Exactly.
like you've been there the whole
They do the
fucking
roll
time,
call
Right,
and somehow
yeah.
they just
Yeah.
kind of not know that they
Yeah.
didn't say your
Yeah.
name. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Why are you
I've
judging?
always
Get
been
past
here. I
us,
don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Why are you projecting to me?
Exactly. Freaking A. Anyways, Orty, welcome. Better late than never. We're only an
Yeah,
hour
yeah,
in
yeah.
here. Speaking of showing up late, dude. Hopefully,
I know,
man,
sorry.
If you're a
I was-
volunteer
I-
fireman, I'm just not gonna call when you're on duty because I know that you would not show up to my house to put it out on time. Let me just say that. Yeah.
So we were over there testing, or not testing, kind of just. So Kick Streams has Stream Racers, like the freaking icon for it, but they don't have the integrations yet, right? So basically, what I did was just streamed Kick Streaming Stream Racers, and then told people to go to my Twitch account and type in the word race so their car would show up. So we kind of cheated the system, on the whole process. That's kind of like the thing that's kind of been pissing me off about this Kick and beta and stuff. It's like, when are we coming out? I feel like I'm waiting for Star Citizen at this point to go
don't say
live.
That's a long way. That's a
Yeah, I
long
know.
way, sir.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
say
before
that.
we get very much further into this, dude, because something we did at the beginning of the stream, and like I said, better late than never. Let me go ahead and give you a chance to introduce yourself. Tell people having a stream for your own community. Obviously, you should know who you are by this point, but for ours who don't know you, just tell your name, say how long you've been streaming, what platforms you've been streaming on, your experience in the streaming world and whatnot. Just give yourself a little introduction here.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. I've been in here in Eliminate's channel and have raided him a few times while he's slaying dungeons and flying, or not flying, really just controlled crashing into objects in Star Citizen, right?
Better.
Yeah, yeah. So I started streaming on Twitch in 2019. I think it was 2019. I just got off deployment and just kind of stumbled into it. A couple of people I was playing Apex with, I heard the gentleman with the Bass Pro Shop. I'm sorry, what's your name? I don't.
Chris, nice to meet you.
Chris, right? Yeah,
The
nice to meet you,
Bass Pro
buddy,
Shop
right?
guy.
Right, so I heard him mention Apex, right? So,
You notice he didn't mention the Batman icon in the background. He went
Yeah, yeah,
immediately
yeah.
to Bass Pro.
Yeah.
Like,
Bass
obviously,
Pro,
his
right
his
there,
focus
right?
on-
Yeah,
he's not in
yeah.
the comics. He's in
It's
the freaking
bright.
hunting and
It's
fishing.
bright
That's
and
right.
yellow, right? So I
That's right. Yeah.
it's like a
Anyways.
fucking beacon, like a tractor beam.
Right, yeah.
Right. So I started on that with Xbox and just kind of built from there, and then eventually I was like, I need to get a computer during the fucking pandemic where no computer chips were being made, so I couldn't get a graphics card for like 8 months. And then was doing the Twitch thing and kind of built up to, I think, about 900 followers, almost about 900 followers. Doing a lot of community-based games and kind of whatever games kind of trigger, like kind of spark my interest. And then Kick showed up, right? Like everything else, YouTube and what was the other ones? Facebook gaming and whatever else was out there, right? So I kind of cast it off to the side a little bit. I was like, whatever, I'm here, got this program, got the Twitch thing going, it's fine. I like my community that I've built. And then I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, Twitch is just oversaturated. Why don't I just jump on Kick, right? It's still fresh, it's young, and just try to rebuild. But that was kind of like,
baby.
yeah, but yeah, it was like that anxiety of starting streaming. It was like I'm doing it again. I'm going back to that process of like rebuilding community, re-networking, doing all this stuff.
Man.
Yeah, it's
Exciting,
just like
yeah.
so. Meeting new people like yourself. We met. I think I rated you when you're playing Star Citizen during Free to Fly. So
I think I rated. Was it you that found me first?
yeah, I found you. I found you first. God damn it.
Okay, fine. You were nice to me before I was nice to you. You get the
I
cookie.
found you first,
Pushing it.
right? So
Oh,
yeah,
it's
so
nice to me. Everybody write it down.
yeah, so put it down in the journal, log it, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so it was just I just decided to pull the trigger and move over here to Kick. The only thing that's keeping me on Twitch is every Friday night we like to do community-based games, which is like Stream Racers. It was Marbles streaming for a while. Then we usually move the Jackbox Party Pack and What the Dub and stuff like that. But it's a real pain in the butt because we would do Stream Racers on Twitch, and I'd be like, "All right, everybody, pack your bags. We're moving back over to Kick to do Jack in the Box." Like in the middle of the stream. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. But I love it here. I've enjoyed it. I joined the community. It's a lot more discoverability, I feel, on Kick than it was on oversaturated Twitch. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, we'll get to the point where you're not double dipping anymore.
Yeah, hopefully. And that's why I kind of freaking did this to kind of that stream tonight, the Stream Racers. I knew it wasn't going to be integrated, but I took a video of it, posted on Twitter, blasted Kick streaming and Stream Racers. It'd be like, fuck y'all doing? And I've already emailed both of them, and they said they're just waiting for integrations and APIs and all this other stuff. So
I thought the APIs are out there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Some people say they are, some people say they're not. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah. So I think once the integrations come in, it will be a lot more it'll get larger. But
oh dude, absolutely. Yeah.
So Orty, we've already I mean, we've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes. We already covered a bunch of questions and stuff. Some of them were written down, some of them just got led to. So we've been kind of getting those creative juices going when it comes to our question stuff. I'll let you chime in on the last question we just did before we actually have you ask one of yours. Just get your feedback on it. We're talking about obviously as of this point, the concept that's on the board. I don't know how far along it is being implemented, but and like I said, Eddie was talking about in the interview stream that they did of him a few weeks ago about them bringing revenue to content creators in the way of basically paying them like per hour based off like their average viewers and things like that when they're going to be talking about implementing that. The question we were posing to each other and we all kind of touched base on already was, do you think that's a good idea? And if so, what are your concerns or whatever about the sustainability of such a project, so to speak, when it comes to the revenue and where the money's going to come from, and just any concerns you have in it, both positive or negative thoughts on it, and so what do you think about that whole concept?
So I think ultimately everybody's, like you can say that, you stream because, well, I play video games, I might as well stream it, right? But money does have a play in it, right? And we're all on Kick because of the 95-5 split, all of us, right? I don't care what anybody says, right? Definitely. And the discoverability, right? So discoverability, but I think that the $16 an hour is kind of,
that's the extreme, by the way. That was extreme. They did say that was like, that's not the status quo. It's gonna be a lot lower than that for average people. But like, to clarify that.
Yeah. So like, is it gonna be like, you have this many followers, kind of like, in what was the movie Coming to America, where he's like washing lettuce, and then next week I'll be on Fridayz, and then 2 years I'll be a manager. Like, is he gonna like finally work your way up to be in the $16 an hour from how, based on your viewer count and everything else? Because I think it's good for those people that don't always, like get a bunch of subs throughout their stream, right? Like I don't get a lot of subs throughout the stream, and I'm fine with that, right? But it might be good for them that, like, you know what, I want to stream. I don't want to feel like I'm not doing this for nothing. So maybe these, whatever, $1 an hour, because it is bringing customers to your platform. So why not? Hopefully it doesn't fucking destroy it, but why not?
Do you have any concerns on the sustainability of it, though? Like anything that you think of? Okay.
So I think that, like, I see, you would have to look and see how much revenue. I'm sure they're getting a ton from the casino, right? Whatever casino it is, the online gambling, whatever. I'm sure they're getting a ton of revenue from that aspect of it, right? But eventually, my concern is once you start paying people that are, like, okay, I stream 3 hours, I made $32, right? I do that every day for a week, or whatever, 7 days, whatever that math is, right? Are they really contributing? Are they really contributing to Kick on that aspect, right? They're just collecting a small paycheck, right? It's like the guys doing the half-ass work, while you're at work. You're like, you motherfucker, I'm over here grinding, right? And you're just fucking getting lunch money over here, right? So at that money, like, I kind of feel that it might turn into Twitch, where it just became so revenue and ad heavy that you know, like on Twitch, you go to Twitch stream, there's fucking ads everywhere. I feel like it's that, what was that movie? Ready Player One, where like we have up to all this space on the screen, right? 82% of screenplay. The viewer only gives a shit about freaking 18%, right? Like that's what I feel like it could turn into because oh shit, we've opened Pandora's box on an hourly rate and now we're fucked, right? And now how do we back out of it?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a concern.
Well, we were talking about that as well. Like when it comes to obviously, I mean, I use the terminology always like you don't want to be run like a government-funded program where all you gotta do is show up and you get money. Because
because people would just turn the stream on
right,
and not play.
Right. And Eddie was even saying that in his interview that he and I was even telling these guys, I like the way he worded where people who've obviously he specifically said like people who put the time and the effort in and are basically up and coming content creators, obviously not very well known, not like the big names and big wigs, but are still they should be rewarded for the actual effort they're putting in. Now I know there's a process, obviously, even getting verified on Kick here. I mean, Redcon can testify to that. We've all seen the achievements that need to be you know, and even it says there in the fine print, just because you achieve these does not mean that you can freaking get verified. You'll have that you can submit your application, but it doesn't guarantee it. So they're very clear on that.
Like the
so I think that when it comes to a good way to kind of help this, we were saying kind of throwing some ideas back and forth. I didn't mention this, but now that I've heard what you're talking about, it kind of made me think. I think that there should be maybe an application process to even getting this payout per hour thing. I don't think they should just automatically roll it out and just have an algorithm decide. I think that should be something that you, as a freaking content creator, because that's just another step you're going to have to do. There's a lot of people out there, like we've been talking about, the struggle with networking, doing the simple stuff. There are a lot of people, if this thing was actually applied and they even put it on their Twitter or whatever, I can tell you that there are probably a good chunk of freaking content creators on this platform that for months afterwards wouldn't even know this existed because it wasn't automatically handed to them. They'd have to go actually to some spot on Kick or here on the dashboard and click on a button and fill out the application with all the information and then submit that. And then maybe depending on if they apply, if they, they qualify for it, it's like submitting for a credit card or whatever. This is what your credit limit is. This is what we're going to pay you for a freaking hour. I think if they did something like that, so that way they can weed out saying, sorry, you're not streaming enough. You haven't reached this quota. You haven't done this. Some people might think of that as a way of kind of continuing to kind of segregate the community and kind of separate them out. But I don't really see it that way. I think that you should be people who are putting the time and effort in, especially trying and working their ass off to get to a certain point, should be rewarded for that. Absolutely. And people that are just kind of treating it kind of nonchalantly and kind of, it is what it is. I don't think they should be rewarded or take from those who are actually doing that effort.
I think there's so many questions about it right now, and we don't have even remotely close to any of the answers. I honestly wish that they wouldn't even have said anything yet, to be completely honest. Just because, I mean, I've heard it say like, yeah, $16 an hour. I've heard like, cents on the dollar, but there's no like what is it that we're going to have to do or retain to get what percentage, or, you know what I mean? There's too many questions, too many questions.
Do you think it was done off the whim? Because when they came out with that, that's when Twitch came out with the sponsorships, the ads, when they had the burnt in ads. That was literally right after they just. Do you think it was just like a marketing ploy, just like, hey, listen, we're gonna do $16 an hour, just to get.
I was even saying about that, dude. I thought the timing was pretty freaking convenient.
Right.
If it just happened naturally, it's funny as hell. But like I said, I think it was pretty. They might have been holding in the back pocket, and when they saw Twitch making that, because it might have even been the radar. These guys, you never know who's working for who and who's feeding information who. They could have known this is probably in the works and coming, so they kind of have this as a background, as an announcement. And when they're like, okay, they find an announcement, here you go, guys, as a way of promoting their freaking platform. You never know. You never know if that's the case. It could be, but it also could have just been something that happened naturally, and it just happened to pan out that way. Like I said, the idea intrigues me. I just worry about the sustainability of it.
We don't know. We'll never know. And it could have been something as simple as someone overheard something at the office and leaked it on accident.
Right.
There's no telling.
There's about the water cooler.
But if it is,
coolers anymore.
I mean, but if it is real, I mean, it's now then an employee and employer. So there has to be some standards. You have to meet requirements to get that, because we are cutting you a check. So you have to make sure that you're doing X, Y, and Z. And I think that's absolutely fair. So
yeah, 100%.
Okay, Ordy. So we already covered some stuff, and I don't know how much of the stream you've been watching. So if you happen to share a question that we already covered, then we'll let you know. But your list of questions, hopefully you had written up. Go ahead and throw one of those at us.
So I don't have anything written up because I'm not really prepared, but I have something
Perfect.
like that
Thanks
I
for
can
coming,
present to
Ordy.
you. So I have something I can present to you, right? So my brain's always thinking. So the Twitch, all the stuff that was happening with Twitch, and everybody was fucking freaking out, right? Because you know the world's a reactionary place, right? So do you think that the Twitch decision to add all this revenue space and freaking all the new DCMA crap and everything else that came out that everybody kind of fucking freaked out, right? Do you think that was a voluntary purge of their streamers? Like a voluntary layoff, right? Because they knew that they were gonna they knew that they were were gonna piss people off. And my opinion of it was that Twitch decided, you know what, we're paying thousands of small time streamers $50 to $100 a month at a minimum, right? The ones that are just making the bare minimum payment, right? That adds up, right? That adds up. So if you're trying to do layoffs and you're trying to you know what, we just want to kind of focus on the big streamers. Kick is over there. Let them go to Kick and flood them.
Wow.
That is
an
like
an
that.
interesting
That's
point.
an interesting
That's
thought.
I never
What do
thought
you
of that. Yeah.
I know what my thought is on that. But I'll let you guys go first. I'll comment last because I want to hear what you guys think because I know what I would say. So you guys, what do you guys think about that?
That would be a.
Step up at once.
I'm thinking because that would be a smart. That's a smart business decision because if you if you
Absolutely.
enjoy a huge content creator, you're still going to come back. You're still gonna, because at the end of the day, the platform is based off of attention, how long we can keep people's attention for. So if you, and especially if you're opening up tabs, you're still gonna be there. So that is actually that would be smart. That's that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's
What do you
just my
think, Brad?
opinion on it, right? I honestly think that like when Kick started getting big, Twitch is like, all right, go. We don't have to pay them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man,
go over there, right? And
It's a good way of looking at it. Crazy.
who's it really going to attract, right? Is it going to attract, XQC came over and he got a huge contract, whatever, right? But most of those people, if you still go over there, big people that you followed when you first started streaming, right? They're still there, right? The partners, right? They're still over there doing their thing. They got their 5,000, 6,000 viewers or plus, they're still over there getting paid. But
See,
Contract ends.
I'm
all of
kind
us
of
left.
right. Well, we left before that happened. Though we saw the freaking writing on the wall, as it were. But answer your question, Ordy. I mean, I don't play devil's advocate here. It's an interesting thought, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with it. But on the flip side, I don't give Amazon that much credit. To be honest with you, I honestly, as the stuff I've seen them do and the way I've seen them handle the platforms they take over, I honestly wouldn't put it past them to do something that brain dead simply to freaking try to do a money grab.
But
The whole concept behind it was literally, we see you guys making money in a way that we have no control over because this is between your sponsors and you. So we can't touch that money, whereas every other way you're making money on a platform is through us. So we can't have that. So we're going to force you guys to take this out of your freaking setup and make it illegal and then put ours. It wasn't just that. They're going to put their own sponsors and advertisers in place of yours on your stream. So they're going to have complete control over. It's just another way for them to make money and revenue off of your content, and basically saying, screw you, the hard work that you've done, the way you've lined these people up, we're going to give you small windows into it, but we're not going to let you do what you've been doing. That to me screams Amazon's classic freaking mentality, which is money grab. Just, it doesn't matter what happens. They have literally, since they've taken over, have been running that platform into the dirt. They have they're milking that cow dry, dude. Like they have the mentality to me of a big corporation coming in, taking over something that's somewhat successful. And Twitch is very successful, and it was when they took it over, grinding good and get as much money out of as they can, not caring who they're damaging, what they're damaging on the way, because they're just going to run that thing in the dirt until it's done, throw the husk away, and look for another freaking company to take over. That is literally like what some of these big corporations do, and I'm seeing that time after time after time. So could it be them trying to get rid of their viewers, like you're talking about, and get rid of the people that aren't as invested? Absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I also think I don't want to give Amazon that kind of credit. I think that they literally have shown that they are very well capable of shooting themselves in the ass without help from anybody. And on the flip side of things, even if these are people that are kind of lackluster in the way of content creation or even viewership, like in the way of like maybe not buying subs or giving bits or whatever, they're not going to gain anything from losing viewers because there goes their ad revenue. The less people they have on their platform, the less people are watching streams, aka the less revenue they're making from these ads that they have through the people they have it from. That's not going to help them out at all. So there's a couple factors into why that might not be the case, but I'm not, like I said, it could be either way. I'm because I'm just trying to explain why I think that maybe that doesn't line up.
No, it's a very fair point. But like my initial thought when all Twitch came out with those new policies, right, was I was like, oh my God, and everybody lost their fucking mind. Everybody lost their mind, right?
Well, they were very right to do that.
Well, yeah, right.
Way overboard.
I'm not saying they're wrong, right? But they lost their mind, right? So while Kick is in the shadows over here, kind of like slowly building momentum, and they're like, oh yeah, we give right? And then I
didn't hear what that was. If that was a column,
we give 95.5, right? We give 95.5, right? So and then all the small streamers are like, fuck Twitch, I'm out.
Right.
I'm out, right? And it's like, okay, Twitch is like, bye.
Dude, most of these streamers on here that I've met, I'm not gonna say, I wouldn't even say most, probably half, never even made the quota to get paid out on Twitch.
True, right?
You know what I mean?
You're saving server
so
space.
hell, Twitch isn't losing anything then from them at all.
Exactly.
So I mean, I don't know, man. It's they have better luck
if they
over
leave
here.
The platform, Kick gets the money back, or Twitch gets the money back. But if, like you said, they haven't qualified for a payment, then
they did change. We were on the whole Amazon thing. You mind if I throw my last question out there real quick?
Sure, dude. We'll go ahead and skip over Kryz.
Hey.
It's all about red card, guys.
Hey, so I just I want to know what you guys think, pros and cons of Kick running on Amazon servers.
They did mention that. Yeah, they did mention that.
Did you know that?
They did ask Eddie. They did ask Eddie about that.
They bought the framework of
Twitch.
Twitch.
Here's the thing about that, right? There's no way Amazon is gonna be like, you know what, Kick, you're paying us for our servers. We're gonna let you go because you're decimating our company, Twitch.
Oh, hell no.
There is no way they're gonna make money off of Kick and be like, you know what, we don't care. Because let's be real, Amazon in wholes for years have been making money off their servers.
$400 billion industry.
Jeff Bezos' net worth is literally surrounded. This is why we're able to have Amazon Prime 2-day shipping, because they can afford to at a loss be like, you know what, we're gonna get better shipping, and you could return no issues, cancel orders like no problem, because they don't care. They have the servers that are literally making their company money. So the fact that people think that like, oh, they're using Amazon servers, what are they gonna shut it down? No, Kick is paying them. They're not gonna refuse money because there doesn't. But Amazon will go to Twitch and fire everybody because like you guys are embarrassing us. We're not gonna deny their service request, but you guys are getting fired because you guys have no idea what you're doing, and these guys are dominating right now. So
Amazon actually, and if that is their mentality, and if Amazon is their mentality, they're going to people on Twitch saying you guys lose money when Amazon's the one calling the shots. They're really freaking blaming themselves. But what I think is actually funny, and I think actually, if I recall correctly, I think Eddie actually touched this as well, because one of the questions they brought up was the fact of like partnering, not even necessarily using Amazon servers, but partnering with Amazon, kind of like that Twitch Prime, maybe doing like an Amazon partnering with Kick and doing like a Kick Prime or something on their platform.
Yep.
And they asked him if they were going to be against working with Amazon. Because they're directly linked to Twitch, and he's like, no, I don't think that's. I wouldn't be against that, obviously. But he said what I thought was hilarious as well is because specifically the whole thing that happened with the startup of Kick and everything. I mean, this wasn't one of the main factors. It contributed to it. It was already a work in progress. It just kind of sped it up, obviously. But obviously, Stake being banned from Twitch, and then also now getting tied into one of the main partners with freaking Kick and their main funding and that kind of thing. Obviously, getting the platform off the ground. So Stake is partnered with Kick. If Kick comes to agreement on Amazon servers, well, Stake will once again be re-involved back with Amazon after they were already freaking like banned and let go. So it's like, how does that work? When like literally they let go of Stake, they banned them from Twitch, they banned them from the platform, and here they're connected to Kick. Now it's gonna be kind of one of those theoretical conundrums for them like ethically speaking, that they're going to have to come to. It's like, okay, you guys took the ethical high road by banning freaking gambling from your platform. Great. Well, now they're attached to this platform, but they're going to pay you money. Is the money going to be enough of a factor for you guys to all of a sudden be like, oh, all of a sudden we're okay with it and this is fine now with us or whatever? They already stated that they didn't want that on their platforms. So
I think it's Twitch's version of a FU to stake. You're paying us for our service.
It could be, but I think that some people's fear as well is the fact that, well, if Kick did that, then that automatically means they're capitulating to Amazon and they're just looking to freaking sell their company. No, I don't think that's the case at all. If anything, that just goes to show how successful their company is, and they are just looking to expand their company. They're just looking to expand their company. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with them trying to freaking make a bigger name for themselves. Doesn't mean they're looking to sell. Just because they're partnering with somebody doesn't mean that they're going to be selling their company. I think it's the actual opposite. If you're freaking killing it, why the hell would you sell? You know, I mean, obviously you can keep growing. Obviously you're on the uphill spiral. Obviously you're showing that uphill climb. You're already showing the fact that you have what it takes to be putting these other platforms to freaking rest. So I don't think people have to worry about. I was more worried about I'll be honest with you. When I came over to Kick, I was more worried about, because I saw the success was going in here. My first thought was, okay, these guys are going to sell the first opportunity. That was my first thought. My first thought was these guys doing some stuff that obviously put on some red flags, some warnings to people. And like we already kind of talked about, like lawsuits getting involved and the platform getting shut down because of that. I wasn't concerned about them being bought out. And I still am not. I think this platform, especially if it's successful, I mean, Twitch has been around forever. And it's due to its freaking success. That people don't look to freaking sell right out of the gate just because they're making money. I don't think you have to worry about that. I think you, like I said, it was more of a legitimate concern that there's going to be some sort of legal tie-up that's going to happen because something that was done stupidly for copyright reasons or whatever, and the platform might get shut down that way. I think that's more of a viable concern in my book. But
I think the animosity towards Twitch is what drove Trainwrecks and Eddie to get together, because Trainwrecks is a successful streamer, big content creator, and you know, to have both of them understand what creators need and to further, you know, the platform and make it better. Because like I said, I've never been on Twitch, I've never streamed on it, but it sounds like when the content creator is talking to Twitch to better the platform, they never listened. So now you have these two guys with so much animosity, and then they realize, whoa, there are so many people that are not happy with Twitch. We have a opportunity here to make a lot of money, but also, you know, grow a successful platform that could be competition to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And right now, they're winning. They really are. They're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, the recent numbers say anything that we just said. They basically went from 10 million to 20 million.
It's insane. I didn't even know that.
It's literally doubled, dude. It's literally doubled. And so, wow. What are you guys' thoughts on this? I mean, obviously, did you have another question? You said you didn't really have any questions, or do you? I don't know what I'm asking. You already said you didn't have any questions.
I already got questions.
Coming in here late. You don't freaking do your homework. I mean, my gosh, dude. What the heck?
Man. Question number one. Will you make out with me?
I think you already know the answer to that, big boy. Come on over here.
Yeah.
You
so
must have been in the
anyways,
Navy.
Oh yeah. I'm still in the Navy. I retired this
it's
December.
really?
the beard, man.
Yeah.
It's the beard.
Shit.
I
retired this December.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yes. All right. So what are your guys' thoughts? Because that's something I actually have people comment on my streams and stuff as well. This isn't even a question I wrote down. It's something on the top of my head. Obviously we kind of hinted or talked about like XQC coming over here, 100 mil there. Some other content creators coming over for like 50. I think Amoranth came over here. She had like 8 or 10 offered to her or something along the lines. I don't know how much it was. It was one of the minor amounts. There's talks about them bringing Doc over, obviously for 50 mil, which I'd be obviously freaking absolutely overjoyed with. I think that'd be a big freaking step in the right direction for them. Doc could bring a lot of people over here. I mean, XQC literally being like the face of Twitch. You guys talking about how major that was. I think that was the first real sign of Kick flexing their muscle and saying we're here to be competitive, because literally grabbing like Twitch's biggest content creator. When people think of Twitch, XQC was like the first name that popped on most people's heads, because he literally was like the king of Twitch and has been for a long time. So them actually buying him out and bringing him over to their platform, flexing that muscle, but it's a huge statement. So, but obviously they're investing all this money, and we already talked about the fact they're obviously not paying them all out of pocket right away. It's a contractual thing. They have to fulfill their end of the bargain before they get the money. But they're continuing to freaking invite other creators over here. Eddie's even said that they're not going to be throwing out huge chunks of cash like nonstop. They're hoping to get to the point where they can even get some of these smaller creators in for like maybe a $1 million contract here or there. They want to give people that opportunity that are maybe kind of mid-tier when it comes to, you know, their success and that kind of thing, to give them opportunity to get a contract over here as well, which I think is awesome as well. What do you guys think though of because we were even talking about like the level of toxicity and stuff like that. Obviously, we're not experiencing that a crap ton here. A lot of that that we've experienced as a whole, we already talked about, has been an influx from people coming over from Twitch, specifically from Twitch, bringing drama with them. With all these freaking content creators they're bringing over and all their viewers, what do you guys think is going to be the effect on that, like the immediate effect on that to the platform? Obviously, we saw the service crash when XQC came over and for a freaking whole day, and which I actually think is a positive thing because it forced Kick to update some stuff that obviously was dated and not the par. So I think that was a good
server
thing.
from Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you guys feel about Kick bringing over all these content creators, the big ones? Do you think that it's the right pace, the ones that how fast they're bringing them over? Do you think they should slow it down? What do you guys feel it's going to do for like the platform overall?
I mean, more the merrier. If they got the funds, buy more servers. Simple as that. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think it won't hurt. And then maybe even they'll branch out and see some of the smaller creators, like their viewership. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But their viewerships are going to be, I mean, they're like tight knit with that creator. You know what I mean? So
They're never,
I don't know, man.
they're never coming to us.
Right.
You know.
Right. But that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I think it'll be fine as long as we have the room for them, and we do. But we got a fresh start here. I mean, like I guess y'all said y'all came in March, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, same. March
I came over.
15th.
I came over May, like late
Okay.
April. I think it's like right in April. I've only been over here for like I'm coming 3 months, dude. Like the end of this month will be 3 months for me. So I've been over here
Gotcha.
since May, June, and then now part of the way into July. So yeah,
Perfect.
killing it, man. We're killing it over here.
I think I got here in end of May, June. I think that's when I
I think you were saying you got around here almost the same time
Yeah.
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty close. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that because you guys are even talking about the fact that, or maybe Ordy was the one that said, like, we're never going to see those guys. I wouldn't be necessarily too sure about that. And the reason why it is, if let me make it clear. If these guys were coming, say, from like YouTube over to Twitch, as saturated as Twitch is, I would definitely agree with the chance that the chance is very slim that you're going to see any of the freaking viewers they're bringing over here on your platform. Keep in mind though, Kick has only been around for what 6-7 months at this point. It's very new platform. When it comes to content creation, there's not a whole lot of freaking options out there compared to Twitch. So if these guys come over, they're bringing all these potential viewers over there with them. Some of these guys obviously have their favorites. They have obviously their ultimate favorite, which is content creator they came over here with. That's not even a point of discussion, an argument. And obviously, it's true that if somebody has a favorite, and we all know this from people that we host, and I've said this before, when people come over and host my ass, and they bring like 20, some odd 30 people with them, I tell them, hey guys, thanks for coming over. I know your favorite person you came over here with, so I'm not expecting you to show up in my stream instead of theirs, but obviously if they're not streaming or I happen to be live at a certain time, not stop by and say hi. Because I know how it works. I've been around this long enough to know. I don't expect all the people that they brought over here, even the ones that followed my ass, all of a sudden go, hey, you're my new favorite content creator. I'm going to spend time on your channel nonstop now.
Right.
But that being said, I think, and I've said this before, I think that this is an amazing time to be on this platform. 100%. I can say with full confidence because of the fact that it's so small. I mean, and if you go to freaking someone looking at, like, say, someone streaming Fortnite, like you pull up Fortnite right now, you might look in there and say, oh my gosh, look at all the freaking people streaming Fortnite. There's like freaking 70, 80 people streaming Fortnite. You know how many people are streaming Fortnite over on Twitch right now?
Thousands.
Hundreds and hundreds and thousands and hundreds and thousands. Comparatively speaking, the chance of you getting discovered is insanely higher over here. And these people are bringing over their viewers. They're not going to be live all the time. And some of their viewers might want to freaking browse around Kick when they're not freaking their favorite creator is not live. Just imagine all these thousands of people they're bringing over that could any given time stop by and check you out. And the chance of them finding your channel over here on Kick compared to Twitch is astronomically higher right now. Which is why I'm encouraging people. It's like, them bringing over bigger content creators, awesome. Amazing. I'm all for that. Bring them over. Bring more of them over, man. More potential people coming to my fat ass because, like, literally, that sounded weird. That sounded really weird the way I just phrased that. Don't read into that too much.
Sounds like he's in the Navy too.
I was saying that was early. That was early days of Kick. They updated TOS. They updated we can't do that anymore. No. But bringing their freaking people over here, because like I said, it's an amazing opportunity, I think, with them bringing these freaking viewers over here and the chances of them finding any of us.
Yeah,
So
it happened to me personally when XQC, when he signed 3 days after I was playing the finals. It was a open or closed beta, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, whoa, viewers, follows. I was playing with him and people were browsing through the game because he was playing the same game, and I actually met a couple of people that I keep in contact with. So I think it does trickle down, and it's great. So
absolutely.
And also,
think-
I mean, if you build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
Exactly.
have newcomers and everything.
One
so
of my favorite movies, by the way.
Yeah, it was
Classic.
good. Yeah.
It always makes me cry.
We
Those
old
movies
enough.
always makes me cry.
Well, I
We
think
Shoot
that
Snow Jackson.
I think that with anything, right, especially with like XQC, they paid him on $100 million dollar contract, and he's bringing, what was his first stream, like 50,000 people were watching, 60,000 people were
It was enough
watching
to
his stream.
crash the damn
Right.
freaking
Yeah, it
website.
was insane, right? So for Kick itself to be, to actually be a legitimate competitor in the streaming world, I think you need like names like that. In saying that, right? Have you guys watched XQC stream?
Yes.
I've stopped by a couple of them, yeah.
Right. Have you ever like got a word in?
Nope.
All right. So
Tried.
exactly,
Hell,
right?
hell no,
yeah,
dude. But
yeah,
that's
right?
normal for him. That's normal for
Yeah,
him.
and it's normal for him, right? And that's what like the chat. I think there's a few different types of streamers, right? I kind of like accepted to myself that like, you know what, I'd rather just build a community and hang out with people, right? Make them laugh, they make me laugh, I have a good time, and move on, right? I've accepted the fact that like I will never like probably be a partner or verified, and that's cool, that's great, whatever. I'd rather have my community and gain some people that like to be there and enjoy like the interaction between the stream back and forth, vice what XQC has, where it's just fucking scrolling, like
Right.
scrolling, right?
And it's
'Cause I
slow
feel
mo
like
There's no
too.
community there. I mean, there
there's no
is, but there's not.
Yeah, you have a community of XQC drones, right? And my son, who's 18 years old, is one of them. And I went into his room, and he fucking was watching XQC, and I'm just watching the chat. I'm like, why do you watch this? I was like, why do you watch this? He's like, he's funny. I was like, well, how's he funny? Like, what does he do? And he's like, sometimes he eats his toenails on stream. I was like,
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I
But
was
I
like,
mean, people
it's
like
like, okay,
disgusting.
they-
People
yeah,
like
they-
raging. I mean, look at Eliminate. I mean,
yeah,
people love that shit, man.
people
Okay,
love
okay.
raging
Yeah.
and
Use
people-
me as the example. There's other people that rage out there.
Hey, rightfully
I'm,
so,
like, I'm the
bro.
only
Yeah, yeah.
person you know in your life that rages. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
trying to
no,
think,
no, you're
who
just
rages
here,
well?
homie. You're just here.
Eliminate.
You're just
yeah.
here, and I
What
witnessed
those
it
things,
with
a
you.
constant state of anger.
But you're right. People do love it, right? And people
They
love
love it,
stupid
yeah.
shit, right? Go look at
Yep.
TikTok. There's people on there that are acting like fucking NPCs
Oh,
now,
TikTok
right?
wouldn't exist.
And they're
without the
fucking,
freaking stupid
they're
crap.
overdoing this,
Yeah.
and they get like a taco, and they're like, "Oh, I eat a taco. I eat a taco," and then they just go
Bro,
back to
and
fucking
it's like-
motion, and they got like 9,000 people watching. I'm like,
That's because we're old.
yeah, I
That
know,
shit's
I know.
Yeah,
That
We're a
shit-
bunch of boomers. Yeah,
Right.
There is no
that-
logical reason
yeah.
as to some stuff that blows up compared to some stuff that doesn't. Like, you watch the stupidest freaking video on TikTok. It's like 5 seconds long. It can literally be them like recording a spot in the freaking living room. They pan over their dog. The dog's got a stupid look in his face and just barks. And it's like, oh my gosh, 5 million freaking views, 5 million
Yeah.
likes. And you go over to some other guy
Yeah,
doing
dude.
like a freaking quadruple axle freaking backflip over a freaking mountain while over pull of freaking killer whales, and he literally has like 5 freaking likes in this video. There
Yeah.
is no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah,
It's just
it's
totally
nuts.
freaking random.
Like I watched a TikTok. I didn't sit there like enthralled by it and hit like, right? But
Sure.
they basically
Orny.
fucking, yeah, I was just drooling on the screen like
Whatever you gotta tell yourself.
it
yeah.
was somebody painting a light switch, and it was fucking
No
like
way.
20,000 fucking likes. I was like, why? Like, why is this? What is wrong with people? Like, I
There
don't
was
get it. Like,
there was a
doomed,
video.
bro. We're
Tik-
doomed.
TikTok Live is literally a funny area. There was a guy with just popping popcorn. That's it.
No way.
50,000
dude.
just
Get outta
popping
here.
popcorn. Yep, just waiting, pop, and 50,000 people were watching, and I'm over here like, holy
Have you-
shit,
have you
what is
seen the-
going on?
That's the
have you
thing.
seen the guy with the nuts that are like stacked up like a pyramid? and he's got the very last one on a stick, and he's like he's trying, like he's scared to put it on there. Have you seen
Well,
that guy?
it's like
Oh no.
No.
Oh my god.
It's like
He
you're
so he
watching those-
so he
it's
just
like
stacks
you're wa-
nuts.
Yes.
It's kind of like you're watching those freaking live streams, though. You know those machines that have like those coins and stuff in it. I don't know what casino it's at or what freaking, or you know which one I'm talking about. It's got like a stack of freaking like chips, and it's this machine that slowly pushes coins forward, goes
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
pushes forward, goes back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what streams I'm talking about, right? The ones that have that. It's like you're literally everyone's just watching, waiting for the stack to fall,
Yeah.
and it's like you're talking about 40, 50,000 people just on the edge of their
I mean,
seat. Oh my gosh!
to me,
Oh my
well,
gosh!
here-
It's gonna happen! It's
I'm
gonna
gonna
happen! This is the
bring it.
moment I've
I'm
been
gonna
waiting for
bring
3
that into
hours.
perspective. I'm gonna bring that into perspective to our generation, right? Remember when you're in class and their fucking TV would come out and the DVD thing would be bouncing around, and we're all
Yeah,
sitting
you
there,
in
it's
that
like-
corner.
it's like,
Then it
Yes,
hits the
dude.
corner and it goes, yes!
It's the
does
same
happen.
concept. It's the
This is
same
Oh,
what I
concept.
waited for my
not
entire
aspect,
life.
right?
People said it didn't exist.
man.
I knew I'd prove them wrong. Freaking A.
Guys,
All
I'm
right,
gonna
guys.
have to go.
Okay, well, one
My
quick thing, dude.
family.
Can I? Okay.
Oh,
Can I get one
family
quick?
afro.
Can I get one quick question for you then, real quick, Redcon, before you go? Do you have time for one
What's up,
more,
brother?
just real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
Because one of the things we did talk about, and because we have all of us here together, I did want to touch on one thing that's not really kick related, but kind of is. What is your advice for people from our communities watching this right now? Any advice you can give them? Because we talked about one of the biggest things that people struggle with, and I know I can say this myself, is the whole networking thing. Obviously, people can get on, they can stream, they can put their content out there, and I think a lot of people, in a lot of ways, they don't really understand what networking is and what it all entails, and the amount of actually
No.
time and effort that goes into that. But a lot of
Yeah.
people, I think, are just the mentality. I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna turn my stream on and hope that somebody like Dr. Disper comes along and freaking raids my ass for no reason out of the blue and I immediately become successful, and that's my freaking vision for my freaking growth on here on the Kent channel. Since you gotta go, I'll let you answer this first. What advice would you give to somebody who asks you specifically, because you have experience, you're obviously verified on this platform already? What would be the number one thing you could tell them, or a couple things, I guess you could say, to help them with the concept of networking and getting their name out there?
I mean, I'm gonna go with don't be fake. Be yourself, have fun, and be positive. If you have negativity, that negativity is gonna grow. They're not gonna want to watch you. Just be yourself,
Mhm.
be real, and it'll grow. It'll grow. People are gonna see you. You know, make people smile. Just be positive, man. It'll be great. And
Yeah.
that's really it, man. Other than the networking we talked about, and we can do that. You know, just reaching out by people, and hell, I go into people's stream and just talk. If I just talk to them, they're like they want to check me out. You know what I mean? At least on Kick. On the other platforms, not so much. But yeah, dude, just be positive and be yourself. Don't be fake. That's it.
Alrighty. Alrighty,
guys,
sir. Well,
Much
Alright,
love.
man.
I know you guys
Appreciate
Later.
you
Yes.
guys.
All right,
All right,
likewise.
Come on,
Have a good one, man.
I very much appreciate you doing this, man.
Hey,
Showing up and hanging out tonight. He said, by the way, so this is Redcon's like first podcast stream he's ever done, really.
Very
So
first,
Let's
yeah.
go.
I got to take
Right.
part in it.
Like a
Hopefully, you had a good time.
like a natural,
Hopefully, you had a good
like
time, man. I was
natural.
really
Get
glad to
outta
have
here,
you.
dude.
I was just
Say
saying.
again.
I'm really glad you took time to be here, though, dude. Hopefully, you enjoyed yourself. I mean, like I said, like not like Kryz, who
Absolutely.
gets his edited out before they get uploaded, so he gets all the freaking the mismatch hodgepodge crap and the bloopers out of the way. This is all live. So all your dirty, all laundry aired out for the entire world to see. But Redcon, dude, I do appreciate you, man, taking the time. As always, dude, wish you the best, guys. Obviously, Redcon 1, I've been shouting him out on the stream as the stream's been going on. Make sure you guys go over and drop his ass a follow over here on Kick. Amazing guys, you guys can see, very real, one of the most real freaking content creators I've come across over in the platform. Guys knows what he's talking about. Obviously, he's put the hard time and effort into the freaking streaming thing. He's got a lot of advice, a lot of input, as you guys saw tonight already. A lot of wisdom behind those freaking beautiful eyes of his. So, yeah. So thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you. Have a good night, man.
Absolutely.
And wish you the best,
Hey
buddy,
guys, I
always.
am gonna throw the Be Right Back screen up. Both of you, Ordy and Crazy, if y'all will just throw something up in my stream. I don't have a link for you guys. So
I got you right now. Yep.
Yep,
Oh, yeah, I
cool.
was gonna
Guys,
shout
I'm
you out
out
as
of
well,
here.
Red
I gotta
Comet,
go
you
make
were-
everybody happy.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
see y'all later.
All right,
All
Rick,
right,
have a
dude.
good one,
Peace out,
buddy.
buddy.
Peace
out.
out, guys.
And then there were 3 again. Oh, all right.
Finally, no joke.
I caught all the riffraff out of the way.
Yeah.
2 hours in, though, man. We're 2 hours in. This bad boy doesn't happen. Most podcasts I see usually only go for like an hour and a half. So we're already well beyond an average status quo. And that just goes to show the fact that we've been discussing a lot of stuff, and we haven't been like repeating ourselves either. We've been talking about fresh stuff. So that being said, do you want to repeat anything, or is there something else that you guys want to bring up that hasn't been discussed yet? Anything on top of your heads?
I think like if we're just gonna go on the last question that you asked Redcon, is that fair?
Yes, go ahead. Yes,
All right.
absolutely. Yes, sorry. Yeah, I totally forgot I'd asked that.
No,
Only
you're
he
good.
can answer. Only he can answer.
Yeah, you're good. So I think that like there's this, everybody has this dream of, Dr. Disrespect and I'm gonna make millions of dollars, and you hear like, it's tough. It's a tough world to get into. It's no matter what, even on Kick or Twitch or YouTube, whatever, it's oversaturated, right? And what are you doing? And you have to hit that mark right there on there, right? And if you talk to a lot of the streamers that have been doing it for like the long time, they've been doing it for a long time. They didn't build it, they didn't build Rome in a day, right? So my best advice is just, like what Redcon was saying, be yourself, do it for fun, right? Be natural. Don't try to be something else that you're gonna, you're not, right? Because they'll see through it, right? And it's hard to like, if you're like Eliminate, he has the rage, right? That's his gig, but that's natural. You can tell it's natural, right? Because he just gets upset, right? I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it, right? That's what you do, right? And it's natural, but I'm not a raging type, right? I like to kind of poke fun at myself and like whatever the situation is. But if I started doing raging, people would see right through that, right? So, just be yourself. It's a tough world to get into. Just understand that. Kind of identify where you're at. Set goals for yourself. If you want to set a video out like every week, or if you want to do this, or learn how to edit videos, because you can't just go on to Kick or Twitch or YouTube, whatever, put the most fucking popular game on, which is Apex, right? Or Fortnite or Warzone, and be like vibing with the boys. Nobody's going to watch you. Nobody's going to watch
you. Said that, dude, because that's like the number one freaking title I see is like vibing with the boys. It's like
how, like what?
So is everybody else.
If you are a small streamer, right? If you're a small streamer and you got one viewer, right? And it's you. You're the one viewer, right? Or your mom or your sister or your loved one or whatever. You're the one viewer, right? Whatever the case may be. What separates you from the other thousands of one viewers or zero viewers that have vibing with the boys, trying to get them dubs or whatever? What separates you, right? So when the people are going to raid, a small streamer or a new streamer, they want to look for title. It's that title. What's grabbing them, right? Like what? Put something on there, like I triggered all of YouTube one time. Triggered them. YouTube was triggered. You know why? Because I put 14-year veteran of Fortnite on one of my clips. And motherfuckers lost their minds. They lost their minds. It's only been out for 8. I'm like, oh my God, guys.
There's other versions of a veteran, dude.
They lost their fucking minds, right? But that was the title of my stream. I put 14-year veteran of freaking Fortnite, right? Or
that's right. My bad. I forgot how to count.
right.
Yeah.
So
but that's engagement. That's engagement. That's engagement.
Right?
You're getting the engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
I put on there I put the number one Fortnite player of my graduating class of 97, right? Like, just dumb shit, right? Like, put something that's showing your personality. So,
the best one I ever done was, man, I hate to do this to be this guy, but when Twitch went through their whole thing with the sponsorships, I put Twitch refugees welcome here, and the amount of people who were like, yo, your title's awesome. Amazing. I was like, that's awesome, what I want. I do it because like I'm a comedy person. I had a comedy podcast for 2 years. I love to laugh. I like to say jokes. Not take life too seriously. And that's one thing is attention grab. Is like, okay, this is funny. Let's see what this guy's about. And hopefully when they come in the stream, they're like, okay, I had a great time. This is cool. It's a good vibe. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of my pride ones, man. I was like, I had to do it. I was like, Twitch set it up for themselves. They did it themselves. I still have it up. I said I still have one part of it up. I'm like Twitch Asylum or something like that. Yeah, so
I think it's actually the same night you run that, because when they made that announcement, mine wasn't as creative as yours, but I still got a fair amount of people stopping by specifically because of my title, and that was really like Twitch has lost their minds. That's literally all my title was. Like Twitch has lost their minds. That's all I freaking put on there. It wasn't like you said, like vibing with the boys, or we're going for this, I was going for that. I just put a statement on there, and people came in out of nowhere to just confirm and talk about that statement. It doesn't have to be
Engagement,
super
yep.
yeah, exactly. It's like
It
reading the
matters.
freaking vibe, having a pulse in the community and on situations and stuff. You're not gonna freaking not benefit from having that knowledge.
You have to look at it like, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you have to look at it like what you're marketing yourself. Like this is your company, right? If you want to look at it like that, right? This is your product that you're putting out to the world, and you're like, hey, come check me out, right? But vibing with the boys and fucking getting in dubs and grinding till master, nobody gives a fuck.
If you even ask them what
I'm just
vibing means, they
speaking the
probably wouldn't know
truth,
what that
right?
word even meant either. It's like
Yeah,
we're
right.
vibing with the boys.
Yeah.
What's vibing mean?
Yeah. Because if they
Oh,
want to watch a master, they'll go watch professional players play it.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they're not going to watch you. Like, so come up with something, like not fucking, like putting a pie in my face if I die or if I don't get 2 wins. Like challenge, right? Challenge something so that people are like, oh, I'm watching this, right? Like, whatever the case may be, right? So it's the best advice is just market yourself. Don't just do what everybody else does.
See, you talking about like that though with the whole thing of like if I die, put a pie on my face and something. I'm not against those kind of streams, by the way. But every once in a while, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Not like
every
a
once in a while. I'm not saying
nonstop.
do it every
It's
stream.
kind of on the same
Yeah.
lines as me as like giveaway streams. I could go on and on about freaking giveaway streams to do that, but I'm like that's one of the. I try to
giveaway
dissuade people from
streams
that.
just bring in giveaway trolls. That's all it is.
Exactly. It's just so freaking the wrong thing to do. And I've tried dissuading people from doing it as much as I can, and some have listened, some have had to learn it the hard way, and that's just life, and that just happens. You can't freaking stop.
Now
people
I'll
from
do
doing
a giveaway
it.
like randomly in like stream racers. I'll be like,
Yes.
this race
It's
is a giveaway
rare
stream.
occurrence
Right?
for
Yeah.
me. Yeah. But when talking about like doing like special streams like that, like if such and such happens, I'll do this. I think it's actually it's not a bad thing to do for like big long-term goals. Like for me, I was actually kicking around this idea, and you're gonna be the first ones to hear about this. But on the off chance, I know, right? Everybody freaking lock yourselves in.
Let me
I was
get
actually
intuitive.
thinking about, and this is obviously just a thought on top of my head. It's probably not going to happen, or it might come up with a bad idea. Who knows? Because this is a long ways off. I anticipating wise. I'm not like putting myself down. It's just looking at the reality of it. But obviously, if I get to the point of actually getting verified here on Kick, I thought as a celebratory thing for that I would do something that's totally 100% against my grain, which as loud and angry as I am, which is do one full length. I'm not talking about like a short. I'm talking about like a full length long ASMR stream.
Let's do it.
Can you imagine me for 3 hours?
Yes.
Whispering and clacking and doing everything against my natural freaking nature.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me doing that? So
I'm
like
here
something
for
like that. That's what I'm talking about, the creativity of it. You gotta think of ways to inspire people. And like I said, obviously me getting verified on Twitter, Kick. I actually looked up the achievements last night. I already have like 3 of them completed, but the ones I don't have completed is like 75 average viewers, which that one's a ways off. And I think the other one's like having 20 different people not gifted subs don't count, like 20 different people sub to your channel. And I think there's one other one. The other 2 are minor, but the main one, obviously the biggest hurdle being this average of 75 viewers for 30 days. So that one's going to be the biggest one. So it's a ways off. Hopefully not that far. The way we've been growing up here in Kick, we're hoping that we know it's going to keep popping off the way it has been. Things happen, but we can keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, so like I said, that's the thing when you're talking about networking stuff. You have to be thinking about it a lot. It can't just be like, I'll go with this. I mean, like I said, you got to have the pulse in your own community, but you also have the pulse on like the gaming and streaming world in general. What's hot right now? What's hype right now? And obviously, you don't want to, we've already talked about it, you want to be yourselves. You don't want to copy and paste somebody. One of the worst things you could do, and I actually was talking to somebody who just came over here to Kick from Twitch. He actually, I'm not going to mention his name, but he was somebody I was concerned about for a while because when he first got into the Twitch streaming scene, I found him back when I was over on Twitch. I was streaming Call of Duty like nonstop. I was streaming some Warzone. I happened, I think, to raid his ass just randomly, or he stopped in my stream. I think he found my stream through one of the videos I was featured on YouTube from another channel or whatever, for my rage clips, go figure. And he ended up coming and finding me. And so we ended up talking. I think we played some matches together, and I ended up raiding him when he was done. This guy had like a handful of freaking viewers, maybe like 3 or 4, like the normal story. Brand spanking new to Twitch, not a whole lot of following. And he just kind of getting into it, and I was helping him out. I raided him a couple of times, gave him some advice. He ended up joining up this one guy's freaking Discord and joined his stream team community. The guy was actually pretty successful over on Twitch, was making he's already like basically making all of his income that way. He was a devoted freaking content creator at that point. And he made the unfortunate mistake of deciding to copy this guy word for word, verbatim, and everything that he was doing, from the way his stream was freaking lined up to the giveaways he was doing, the wheel in the background, the games he was playing, the way he articulated and expressed himself. I literally would go from this guy's stream, the guy who had the stream team, the featured content creator, over to this guy's stream, and it was like I was looking at a mirror image of him. It was hard to watch, because literally the guy that I had spent time getting to know and enjoyed his freaking streams, not because of the amount of viewers he had, not because of the amazing gameplay, but because of his own personality and what made him him, was slowly freaking being taken over by this desire to copy this guy's success. And it worked. I mean, he was getting mad freaking follows and mad love. He started freaking streaming a crap ton, like he was doing like these 24-hour long streams almost like every single week. He was just grinding the hell out of it, but it basically got to the point where I knew it was going to happen. He basically burned himself out, totally freaking grind himself down to nothing, and running on fumes to the point where he just had to step away from content creation altogether, because he had basically got to that point where he was so mentally freaking drained he couldn't do it anymore. And he recently just came back. He's started streaming over here on Kick, and we had even talked about this. I feel good enough to talk about it, free enough to talk about this, because we've had this discussion, and he'll tell you guys as well. But he's taking things slower. He's obviously learned from that mistake, and so he's going to take his time over here on Kick and just be himself. What I told him, dude, that's literally what, like you guys already said, that's what all you can be. That's literally the number one thing that's going to separate you and set you apart from everybody else. There's hundreds of people streaming the same game as you. Obviously, people are. I mean, that's obviously a topic of this conversation. To start the conversation is, hey, you're streaming the same game I like. Great. Well, what do you do after that conversation is done? Okay, you've already established you guys like each other, the same games. You may have some other things you have in common, but what's the one thing that's going to keep them there and draw them back? Is it going to be your happy-go-lucky, excited personality, or it's literally going to be this? Oh man, I just got another freaking 10 bomb.
Oh yeah, okay.
Freaking somebody clip that,
He's hacking.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah, so
Hey,
excited you're here.
Hey, bro. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, bro?
And I hate to say this, right? And I don't want anybody to be upset when I say this. Like,
Well, I'm gonna be upset.
streaming is not for everybody.
Oh my gosh, I think I'm out here.
It's just not.
That is true.
Right?
That is true. I will agree with that.
It's just not for everybody. And sometimes what happens is you find out the fucking hard way. And it's like, oh, I've been doing this for a month. I thought I was gonna be a fucking millionaire. I thought I was gonna be the next YouTube star, or Twitch star, or whatever. I suck. Right. And I'm not saying that you do suck, but it's just not for everybody. Like, you go to, and everybody's seen it. Everybody that's sitting here in the chat, the three of us have all seen it. We've gone to the stream, Eliminate reenacted it, and you go to it, and it's just like, and you're trying to talk to them, and it's just like,
You're trying.
like,
Yeah.
like,
And it's
like,
pulling
bro,
teeth.
like,
Yeah.
interact. Do something.
Where's your personality? Yeah.
I've had that intentional conversation with people before, and it's a hard one to have. But
it's hard.
After you've had some conversation with some people, I've actually had that straight up honest conversation. Said, you know what, man?
It's just
I honestly just don't think streaming is for you.
Yeah.
I
And
said,
you have to
it's a
accept
brutal
it.
conversation to have, but it's like, hopefully you appreciate the honesty. Like I said, hopefully you appreciate my honesty in this. I just don't think that streaming's for you, because you can see they're getting flustered. And some of that is contrived and derived from unrealistic expectations.
Yes.
I think it's a big factor. And you kind of touched that just now, of like the whole thing of, I expect to be here by this freaking month. I expect to have this many followers. I expect to be making this kind of money. And so, and I'm saying expectations and goals are not a bad thing to have. Unrealistic ones are. Setting baby goals for yourself so you feel like you're slowly freaking making steps and making progress is a big part of it. You should be motivating yourself.
Yeah.
There's difference between motivating yourself and setting yourself up for goals that are so unattainable, so unachievable, that you literally are in a losing battle to the point where you're not, because that reflects in your content. That insanely reflects in your content. If you're that kind of freaking person, you're pissed off at yourself, people come give you a stream and see you just
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping by, man, but I should have like 30 more people. Oh, yeah, that person's going to feel real happy about being in your freaking stream.
And I hate when people say that. Like, and I've seen people also, like, Twitch, when you could, like, look and see who is watching. And then, they're not talking, because a lot of times what will happen is people go to your stream, right? And they'll go and just see how you are, right? Before they even say a fucking word. Before they say a word, they'll just watch you. And you'll see your numbers, and this is one thing that I promise, don't ever do. It'll fuck you up. Don't watch your numbers. Stream like you are streaming to thousands of people, even if it's one person. right? Do not look at your numbers, because what's going to happen is you're going to be like, you're going to get down on yourself. You're going to change your mood. You're going to freaking, it's going to piss you off, and you're just going to sit there and mope like Eliminate was demonstrating with his controller, right? You're going to sit there and mope. Oh, I'm failing.
Almost like
right?
I've done that myself before.
Yeah, right.
Also, comparison
watch
too.
numbers.
Comparison is the thief of joy. So
Yeah,
don't compare
yeah.
yourself either
Don't
to
compare yourself.
other streamers, because you're in your own time, you're in your own boat, and your time will come if there's one so like my big thing is I love to learn about everything. Like I never knew how to edit a photo, I never knew how to edit a video. I don't even know anything that much about computers. Like all this stuff I taught myself because I was willing to learn. But also I was also learning from other content creators, people who are open about their success and how they became successful. And one advice that was like, because I started off on YouTube, was Mr. Beast. He was on a podcast, and he was basically take the algorithm and replace it with audience. The algorithm does its job just fine. If your videos are not hitting, that means your video sucks, and you need to go back to the drawing board, and you need to figure out what you're doing and study the algorithm, and then you see your videos take off. And sure enough, I would have a minute video, drop it down to 30 seconds because that's the sweet spot, and just figure it out. But also being authentic to yourself and your personality and what you want to see. So me, I like to do comedy shorts, like funny things that I did on stream, and that's what I like to put, and people enjoy it. So it's also learning is huge. Learning from other people and other content creators.
Yeah,
that's
and
huge.
if you have zero like film editing experience, like what you're saying, and I was the same way. I had no clue what I was doing, and my videos are still not great. Like, and because I'm constantly learning, but like real life gets in the way, and it can be distracting, and it can be frustrating when you're sitting there. You spend hours and hours making a video, and you get fucking minimal hits, and it's just like, fuck. I don't want to do this again.
No.
But you got to do it. You got to do it. And that's how the famous got famous, is they're really good at it. And, now they have a whole content creation team that they just, fucking, what's Dr. Disrespect's guy, Kyle or Kevin or whatever his guy is in the background. But they got a whole team that do that shit.
Oh, Alex, you're talking about Alex?
Yeah, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah. They're like, Alex, right? Like, they got,
get out of here.
he's got fucking 30 Alexes over there fucking making all their stuff for him, right? So the big guy.
And at one point, they would have to be that person. They would have to do their own editing and stuff, It does. They don't just like start up and be like, yeah, I have a 30, and there are some people like that are fortunate to hire so many people to work for them, but that's just very rare. But yeah, you have to start somewhere. And it's never too late. It's never too late.
The whole thing about the what you talking
sorry
about,
to cut you off. Sorry.
We're all cutting each other off to a certain extent. It's fine. How else we're gonna get our freaking words in? When you're talking about with your content creation stuff, like the guy saying like the algorithm stuff and saying that your video sucked and everything. You have to. There's a difference in my mind between a negative mindset and ownership. Owning your mistake. You can own your mistake and not be negative about it. If you're looking at a mature mindset and being like, okay, this was wrong, I did this wrong, I could have done this better, this better, but did in a creative mindset of, I'm going to do, now I've learned from this, I'm going to do this instead of like, oh my gosh, I don't know why this happened, and I'm freaking doing all this work and nobody cares, and oh my gosh, I just suck at making videos or whatever. You know what, dude? It's kind of funny if you actually go over. Speaking of YouTube, because I've made content, it's come and gone over the years. I've deleted some videos and kept some. But if you compare my oldest freaking YouTube video, the video on my YouTube, I think it's some sort of random freaking Twitch montage from how many years ago? 6-7 years ago. Compare that to some of my newer ones. The editing is 1,000 times better. There's not as much freaking fluff and crap in there. There's not so much freaking downtime. It's a lot smoother. It transitions freaking smoother. I mean, like, I do all my own editing, my own YouTube videos, the intro video to my stream that some of you guys have seen. I edited that myself, and that's self-taught. Nobody taught me how to do that. You're never going to, for some of you guys who think it's just going to be a waste of time, you're never going to freaking not benefit from that if you put yourself out there and learn it, okay? I mean, you're not going to freaking, you're not going to hurt yourself by doing that. Obviously, the time for it, that's a big factor. You don't have time for it. We all got lives and stuff. You got to factor that stuff in. But if you want to learn how to edit videos, get an editing program. You can obviously watch other people's videos and get some input on trying to circumnavigate some of the harder stuff, obviously, to cut out some of that fluff, so you're not freaking, drowning in the freaking deep end of the pool. Baby steps, Bob, as it were, when it comes to editing. But it's a learning curve. It's a learning process, and you will get better over time. But you're never gonna get there unless you freaking try.
And you can take pride in the fact that you created something.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you.
That's a
Thank you.
big part
Yep.
of it. That's a big
Like,
I was
part
about
of
to
it.
say that, yep.
Because like a lot of the emotes, like when I first started, I bought my avatar that I currently have, right? And then I came with emotes, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just make my own. So I just started making my own emotes, right? And then I started dabbling with editing and doing like little videos and my current like startup streams. I made all those videos. I wrote the script for it. I did the voices for it, right? It was like, so it's like I'm proud of those, right? Because I created it, and there's nobody on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, whatever has my shit. Nobody. I have a fucking welcome to the Cum Zone thing that I made. It is ridiculous.
That's great.
That's creativity.
That's
right there.
great. That is great. Yeah.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
original. That's original.
It is welcome to the Cum Zone, and it is fucking off the chain.
Oh,
There
Lord.
we go.
I made it. There's nobody
What
in the
kind of
world.
audience are you freaking bringing in with that? Freaking
Adults,
logo?
18 plus, baby.
Oh,
18
let's- Speaking of which, I don't know about you guys, but I personally think we've actually even talked about this either when we've been live or playing together or whatnot. I myself am personally extremely grateful for the freaking adult audience on Kick.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
I mean, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, guys, but my gosh, the fact that like there was at best a 50-50 chance of somebody coming to my streams on Kick or Twitch and it was gonna be an adult. It was probably a higher percentage it was gonna be some sort of squeaker and some sort of kid. But over here on Kick, I mean, it's kind of funny that you even go to someone's stream and it says 18 or plus, 18 years old or freaking mature audiences only. Because, like,
Yeah.
I would say at this point in Kick's life, probably like 97, 98% are freaking adults. And I think that Kick is kind of because it's a gambling related platform. Most parents are not comfortable letting their freaking kids get on anyway. So they're kind of regulating that, which I'm fine with. I mean, that's another byproduct of it. Applause, man. I'm because I love interacting with people, mature people. Okay,
Yeah.
nothing freaking brings down a gaming session than some squeaker coming in and being like, "Hey guys, and then
Oh.
freaking making these immature freaking poopy jokes." And like it just totally brings
wrong
down
with
the
poopy
adult
jokes, bro?
atmosphere and everything. I mean, you guys have been there. You guys have been there. And there's nothing wrong in socializing with the younger kids and stuff. So, I went through that phase a long time ago on Twitch, and I grew out of it pretty fast because nobody wanted to play with me when there was a younger kid in the group. I'm just saying, nobody
So-
wanted to because it was like totally different atmosphere.
So can I tell a quick
Sure, you
what
can.
not
Or
to
this is a
do-
safe
what not
space.
to do
Go ahead and-
story,
Go ahead and
right?
share. Yep, go ahead.
right?
Yep.
So I just started streaming, right? And I get some viewers, and I'm fucking amped, right? Because I just started, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting some viewers and shit, right? I'm pushing for affiliate on Twitch, and I get somebody in there that is like, hey, can I join you in playing? I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, come on in, playing with the viewers, right?
First mistake.
Bro, the kid was like fucking 9 years old, right? And I'm just like,
I've been
like-
there. I laugh because I've been there.
and I'm just like, fuck, right? Because now I got kids and shit. I'm not trying to, and I'm
Yeah,
a
but you
sailor,
love your
you know.
kids. That's the
Yeah,
difference. You
yeah.
love your
I don't
kids.
love their kids. I don't love everybody else's kids, right? So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna end the stream, you know. So fast forward a couple days, you know. Now he's added me on Xbox, right?
Oh, they latch
So-
on, baby. They latch on
Bro,
hard.
like fucking, it's like
You're
feeding
like,
a stray
like mama's
cat.
milk, man. They're latching
It's
on
like
to you, bro.
it's literally feeding a stray cat.
Oh,
that's what
Lord,
that's what it
dude.
is, right?
It's
So
terrible.
I'm
It's
mid
terrible.
game and I hear, and I was just like, what the fuck? You know, I'm like, I'm like, did you just join my party? And he's like,
Oh, no.
right, he joined it, right? And I was just like,
Mhm.
you motherfucker, right? So I ended the stream. I was like, all right, y'all, have a great night. I was like, and you, buddy, you stand by. I was like, you stand by.
You had to talk, huh? You
I had to
with
talk.
him?
I was like, hey, man, don't be popping in my stream. like
That's
that.
alright.
Chill
fun.
vibes, guys.
That's always fun.
It's
Well,
like-
it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like talking, explaining freaking the Sahara Desert to an Eskimo when you're trying to tell them not to do
Yeah.
that because they're looking at you like, but it was open, you know, and
Yeah,
you're my
yeah.
friend, and so
But
we played together.
to credit him, he didn't come back. So
Well, that's good.
And I probably
That's
lost a
rare
follower, but
occurrence.
whatever.
Usually
Yeah.
they don't understand what you're trying to tell.
yeah.
them.
I know.
Oh,
That's just there's
my
no maturity level that's reached. That
Yeah.
My-
process.
my ban list on YouTube, I try to be a little bit lenient, but if you get it excessive, automatic. There's no timeout. Automatically on the ban list. And people like they will come in and like start some stuff and be like, hey, can I play with you? And then I'll be like, oh, not right now, tomorrow I'm gonna be hopping off. So the tomorrow comes, they'll come right back in. Hey, can I play? Can I play? Can I play? Instantly banned. Instantly. And they'll start laughing. Some of my friends will start laughing because it's just like, no, you kinda know, like, that's annoying. It's annoying.
Yeah, once you know
like,
they've asked more than
lucky
fucking 10
that,
times, they're 4 years old. You know, like
Yeah, I mean, there's kids being kids. I mean, you know, with your story, I had a funny situation where I did the same thing. It was a kid. We were playing Fortnite, but the kid made us, man, we were rolling because he was just cursing up a storm. I was being respectful. I was like, okay, this is a kid. Now I got to change the way I act. I don't want, you know, to be be the way I am, essentially. And I'm being nice or whatever. And this kid went on an F-bomb tour, and we were just sitting there just laughing. We were laughing because it was a little kid, like, you know, fuck you, no, this not. He's like, you know, saying all these outlandish stuff. I'm like, how do you, like, where's your parents? Is your parents right next to you? This is crazy.
Yeah. It's funny though, you talk about like people pestering you and how you actually ban them. I'm thankful that for as much as I pester Kryz to freaking play with me, and if we can play together and stuff, as I'm in a stream nonstop, just hammering him and DMing him. You guys see the DMs I send him nonstop. He hasn't banned me yet, so
no. Oh, I'm. By the way, I am absolutely
really
so. Like I said,
pics, you know.
I'm terrible when it comes to Discord because I'm just so bad at it. Like that's how I am. I'm bad at text messaging. I can't. Yeah, well, because I'm at work and I leave my phone in the office because I work outside. So I'm in aviation and I don't trust my phone out there. But yeah. So like I'm never I'm around my phone. Like the only time when I answer you is like when I'm about to go live. And you're like, oh, I DM'd you, and then I'll be like, yeah.
I sent you like this, guys. This is what I'm talking about. I was talking about herding cats. I was mainly talking about Kryz here because I sent him 5 DMs in freaking Discord. Each one more concerned than the last because we're trying to set this up and he said, sure, I'll do it, but he hasn't confirmed anything or gone back to me on anything. So I'm trying to freaking nail him down. I'm saying, dude, are you gonna do this? What's going on? And then literally I have to go into his live stream and go, hey man, check your DMs. Oh yeah, sure, we'll do that. So then I gotta wait for another 24 hours to hear back from him again because he doesn't respond. If you try to get a hold of Kryz and Discord doesn't respond to you, don't worry. He probably hasn't died. He just doesn't do Discord. That for
you and my friend should get together and talk about this because since I'm bad on Discord, I'm bad at text messaging. I'm terrible at text messaging. Terrible.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's just me.
I love you anyways, buddy. I love you anyways. All right.
No, I rush straight home from work, take a shower, hop right on here, and then that's it. It's go. But like checking anything, like any of my text messages, man, my boy, he rips into me all the time. He's like, dude, I texted you yesterday about something that we're doing in 2 days. Why didn't you? It's like, yeah. So that's for me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I hope your house is never on fire and the freaking fire department's trying to get a hold of you on your phone. Be like, nope. Sorry,
I leave my phone. Yeah.
Until hours later, did you guys put it out? Please tell me to get my dog out. Oh, freaking A, dude. That's hilarious. All right. So, like I said, unfortunately, Ordy, I know you came in late, such is the way of things. But like I said, we've been going for about 2.5 hours. Was there anything else you guys wanted to comment on or bring up or discuss while we have the group here before we end up calling this stream and dipping out?
So I have a couple of questions here from Chill Vibes Gaming. Can we answer some of them? Yeah, actually, a really good question.
Yes, sure.
Sorry.
Actually, I completely forgot about including our freaking live chat right now. I didn't mention that before. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, go ahead and ask some questions. Ordy, I know I'm not live.
Yeah, there was one. He goes, that's another thing I want to ask about. Is stream teams worth it to do? I'm in one, but not sure if it's the right thing.
He's talking about for Twitch, correct? Because we don't have that over here on Kick. Yes.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's whatever you put into it, like with anything.
Yeah,
it's a major networking thing, but
yeah, I mean, it is a form of networking, and I'm not saying there's not some good stream teams out there. I've heard of some really awesome stream teams, and usually those are the ones the hardest ones to get in. Anybody that's freaking inviting you willy nilly, obviously, my experience with those has been it's not worth it. It's just they're trying to boost the freaking number counter and trying to make themselves get like a shout out.
It's the community stream team. It's a Kick community stream team. Is that the one on Discord? Chill Vibes.
I was say, is that like a Discord community? Is I was talking about?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
There's no communities on Kick yet.
Yeah, that's
okay.
it.
So he's talking about like joining a Discord, like a promotion.
No, he's already part of a Kick community stream.
Oh, because I'm in Kick's Discord as well. I'm in Kick's main Discord. I'm in that one, but I'm
Mhm.
also in another guys who started probably the second most populated, specifically Kick focused platform. Guy's name is Torva, and he actually is he's a verified Kick streamer, and he also has a freaking Discord as well that I'm in. There's nothing wrong with being in those communities. I've actually met some pretty chill people that way, but kind of like freaking Ordy was talking about, you get out what you put into it. If you're just gonna be jumping in there and be posting stuff randomly, like 99% of everybody else is doing that, and be like, "Hey, come by and check out my stream." You know, how many other people are freaking putting in, "Hey, come on, check my stream. Hey, come check out my stream. Hey, come check my stream." You're not building any relationships with people. You're not actually attracting anybody, unless you're freaking gonna put in there something like extravagant, like, "Hey, I just made a freaking $1,000,000 off a freaking lottery. Can't wait to tell you guys about it. Come on in, and maybe I'll send $10 your way or something." You know, you're not gonna usually get people stopping by randomly, so you gotta spend some time in the Discord, relationship wise, build a rapport with some people, and it's usually those people you'll get to come and stop by your stream
and also just go visit those streams, right? The Kick teams are, or the stream teams are developed for all the streamers that are inside of it to follow each other and support each other, right? So if you like, what happens a lot of times though is that people will get a member of it, they get their goals, and then they're just like, all right, peace out. And they just kind of forget like to go hang out with the people that they met, right? So you're not really building a community. So it's all networking. That's all like what we discussed earlier. So it can be a good thing, but again, it's what you put into it, right? If you enjoy it and go hang out with other streamers, you'll get stuff out of return of it, right? Because they're gonna be like, oh yeah, go check out so and so, right? More streamers are more off to like shout you out if you like support each other, right? So like, Eliminate comes to the stream. Oh, he's always lurking, right? He's a big, supporter, right? And freaking, I'll go and lurk on his, right? And we won't say a fucking word because we're both streaming at the same time, but we're watching each other's streams, right? Off to the side, right? So it's, and then send a
If I hear you
over,
randomly
send a raid over.
screaming, if I hear you randomly screaming, I might stop by and check out your stream, but you have to be really loud, Ordy, because I have you kind of down low level wise. So if I hear you screaming on your stream, then I might pull you up midstream just to check and see what train wreck happened.
Oh yeah, I mean it gets weird. It's a weird place, man.
That's actually happened the other night with me. You hosted someone and they were reviewing your Rage compilation, and I heard your voice getting higher and higher, and then the table started slamming, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I stopped and I'm watching, and I was like, oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, that was actually one of the guys that actually stopped by my stream and just found me randomly, and then lo and behold, when I actually go over and check him out and actually host him in return at the end of my stream, he's like. He starts talking to me like he knows me, and I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, I'm pretty sure I followed you over on Twitch. Weren't you the guy who did such and such? And I sent him one of my videos. That's what he pulled up, and he's like, yeah, dude, this is you. I know you. I've actually subbed to your YouTube channel, and I'm actually
awesome.
I've seen you over on other people's channels. Like, I love your Rage videos. And so when I hear that kind of stuff, it hasn't happened often, but I have run into some people that recognize me from something like that, and
that's awesome.
It's like. There's a little bit amount of fanfare that comes with that, and they like treat you like a little bit extra special than just, hey man, it was awesome gaming with you. It's like, because they like your content and they're coming at you from that perspective. It always kind of, I don't say it makes me uncomfortable, but I don't know how to respond to it, because like to me it's just, I'm making the content, I enjoy making content, I like the people who enjoy my videos, but if somebody coming to me saying, hey man, it's been an honor to talk to you, it's been an honor to freaking play with you, to me it's like, I don't see interacting with me as an honor at all. I'm just a gamer the same as anybody else. I'm just glad we had a chance to talk. When somebody comes with that sense of fanfare, it always makes me kind of like.
Okay. I actually had that happen at
Apex. Oh yeah, you too?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Apex, I freaking was I just went in a random lobby, and they were like, "Oh shit, it's 4079." I was like, "Yeah, what's up, man?"
That's
right. That's dope.
I was just streaming. I was like,
"Yeah."
That's a fucking name, and he was all like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "What's up?"
That's awesome.
And he's like, it's already 79. I was like, I'm nobody, bro. And he's like, no, you're a streamer. I was like, oh, okay. It's like I wasn't expecting this, but I was like, all right, man. Like, thanks. Fucking. And I'm not a huge fucking streamer by any means, but it is cool, like when you do see stuff like that.
Right.
So.
Right.
And that means your work is paying off. I mean, in a sense, right? So,
and it's a positive. People aren't knowing you for being negative. That's the big thing. It's like, hey, I know you. You're the guy that freaking sucks ass at the game and constantly complains about it. It's like, hey, they know you in a positive light. That's the kind of feedback you want, the reaction you want. It's from people being like, hey, man, love your content, love what you do. I mean, and the hardest one for me is when people come to me and freaking DM me, not even like even recently, but just over my years and stuff of doing this, saying, you know, even when I was making content over on Xbox before I even started streaming, I was making clips. And any of you guys who remember old ass Xbox Ones and Upload Studio when that was a thing, you can make clips and edit them out in the little Upload Studio app that came with it as hodgepodge and freaking crapshoot that app was. But you got to upload them, and then people got to see your clips. I was making funny rage-filled clips in that regard as well by reenacting some scenes with the Kinect camera and trying to reenact what I was feeling and what was going on. So I was uploading those kind of clips, and people were following me out the ass over on Xbox. And then they were coming to me saying stuff like, "Hey, man, your clips are helping me get through a hard time. My dad died recently, my mom died, and my freaking whatever." And when you see that kind of stuff, it's really humbling because it's like knowing that you're, because you know you might just be doing this for fun. It's a reflection and a reminder that everything that you do and say has a consequence. It's not just, you know, you might be just doing this for fun, just for freaking kicking back and streaming. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are people that it affects in a lot deeper way.
But even with us too, like, you know, for me, you know, last year I lost my mom, and this is therapy for me. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy like sit down. Like I said, I come home from work, I sit down here, and I enjoy hanging out with everyone, like genuinely, and it keeps my mind away from reality, and that's a good thing. And it's a good to detach yourself, but also hang out with like-minded individuals, and I love that. That's real.
Absolutely.
So, and it works both ways. So.
You said your buddy had a few questions. Did he have another one?
I believe that was it.
Okay. Did anybody in my stream, since I'm live as well, did anybody in my stream have a question that they wanted to ask the remaining group of us that are left? I know I mentioned that was going to be a part of this. Everybody hearing everything that's gone down, if you guys had any questions or notes, anything you guys were discussing amongst yourselves, I know the chat's been popping. We got like 40 people in here right now watching the stream, which is awesome. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and lurking in the stream. You guys have been incredible tonight, and I love the interaction. I've been seeing the chat in my peripheral, checking over and seeing you guys talking to each other. That is what I like to see. On a night like tonight, where we're doing our thing, we're hanging out, knowing that you guys can be left alone and not eat each other alive is always a good thing. It's like leaving your kids at home alone with a package of cookies. Don't eat the cookies because you're going to ruin your freaking appetite. I'm glad to see the package of cookies is still intact on the table. So thank you guys for doing that. But if any of you guys have any questions, post them in the chat real quick for me. I think I saw some people asking, like, how we doing or what is this, what we're doing. In response to that, anybody who's lurking here wanting to know what's going on, this is kind of like a little podcast stream that I decided to do. I actually came up with this actually after watching the freaking live stream interview that they had with Eddie, you know, basically the guy who's helping to keep things running over on Kick. And then I saw actually, I don't know, was it a call that you were in with somebody, Kryz?
I'm sorry?
I think you were in a video call with somebody on Discord, and you were actually having like a group call with them, and it was just talking about something out of the blue a few weeks ago. And I was like, and you mentioned the fact that because I think you're talking to somebody who did podcasts or something along those lines. I can't remember. It was something along those lines. But that's kind of what gave me the idea to do something like this. Because like, okay, you know, we got the information from people asking, of course, the guy directly tied to Kick, but we who are content creators and have been around the popsicle stand for a while on other platforms, but also have spent time over here on Kick, getting the feedback of you guys. And obviously, I know a lot of people who stream over here on Kick. And I don't want anybody taking it personally that you weren't invited. I wanted to keep this group kind of small, but I also wanted to specifically invite people who I knew had spent time on other platforms, had been around this for a while, and also people who I knew had, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, people who had a decent sized community on here already, so that, you know, they can get the feedback from their communities as well, and get that kind of feedback. Classic IQ says, it seems like Kick is so tight between viewers and support between viewers. It seems like a go-to platform at this point, question mark. Do you guys feel like this is a place to be at this point? Obviously, Nate knows I've been streaming on other platforms. It's difficult over there. So Classic is asking, apparently, is this the platform to be on right now? And I know what the answer is probably, but if you guys want to elaborate on that, what do you guys think? Of all the platforms that are out there, is this the platform to come to right now and to be on?
I think it's if you stream on Twitch, I don't know you stream on, right? I think if you stream on Twitch, it's an easy platform to kind of like reintegrate because it's basically Twitch but green, right? So it looks exactly the same, right?
Yeah, the UI is basically exactly.
You know, so it looks exactly the same, right? It's like, okay, this is green Twitch. But I would say, you know, like, and we kind of mentioned it throughout the chat, was that, you know, the community seems a little bit tighter. The discoverability is a lot better. Because like what kind of made me decide to switch over was, playing games like if you enjoy playing games like Call of Duty or Apex or Fortnite, just go look at Twitch right now. Go look at Twitch right now. See how many people are viewing it or streaming it. It's astronomical, right? So, and my problem was when I was streaming on Twitch is that I wasn't a 0 viewer and I wasn't 20,000 viewer, right? I was kind of averaging between 15, 20 views at a time, right? So I was right there in the no man's land of search, discoverability, right? So what streamers will do is they'll go the highest viewer or the lowest viewer. And there's no choice for the middle viewer, right? So I was just, with my community, which is great, because as my people come in and watching the stream and I was having fun with them, but there was no room to grow because I couldn't be found. I was lost in the sauce essentially, right? So just being in no man's land on Twitch and that middle of the pack viewer, or a streamer, it's rough. So I would say, like just compare whatever platform you're on there, Classic, is compare what game you play, what game you enjoy to play, and then go see how many people are streaming it, and then come over to Kick and see how many people are streaming it here. And that was what kind of just brought me over.
Yeah.
Is I could get discovered better.
What about you, Kryz? What would you say when in response to that? If Kick is the platform
If
to be on
Kick
right now,
is the platform to be on, so I do a simulcast. I'm on YouTube and Kick at the same time. I try to take advantage of any platform I can. But for Kick, if you're going to transition from Twitch, it's a great move. Now, there's pros and cons to anything. YouTube, it's great, but I'll never forget this. There was one person who hopped in my chat and was like, it's got to be boring for you here. And I was like, yeah, it kind of is, because I wasn't on Twitch, where it's primarily gaming. YouTube is a huge library of content.
huge.
So huge.
Yeah.
So you kind of,
That was even
talk
before
about
stream became a thing.
you're
It was already making
non
content with videos.
you're non-existent in a sense in gaming. It's just, people will, check you out 2-3 viewers here and there. So I was like, yeah, it kind of is. And when Kick came out, I'm like, oh, opposition to Twitch, I'm in. I'm sold. It didn't take me much, but I really do enjoy this platform, and I really hope it succeeds. And if you can make the switch, do it. Take the leap of faith. You never know what's going to happen on the other end. So that's what I gotta say. Yeah.
I personally believe that, and I've mentioned this before, just from the time I spent over on Twitch. Like I said, I wasn't on YouTube very long. I was only there for a couple months, but I was going hard at YouTube for a couple months. It wasn't like I was just nonchalantly doing it. I was streaming several times a week. I was doing the thumbnails. I was getting the networking out. I was popping off over there. So when it comes to the discoverability aspect of things, I would say for a brand new content creator who's looking to stream and start on focus on one platform and one platform alone, if that's kind of your thing, definitely Kick. I would very much recommend the fact that Kick in its freaking lifespan right now, like I even said earlier in the stream, I said it a couple times, this is the perfect time to get on this platform and start grinding it out. With the amount of people that are in here actually playing the games, the close-knit community, sense of community that is here, it just can't be beat, man. I mean, and I would even go to say that when I jumped into Twitch, and I didn't jump into Twitch at the beginning. I jumped into Twitch when it had already been going for a few years. So that sense of community was there, but it wasn't as strong as some people used to tell me it was. They're like, oh, this gives me freaking old school Twitch vibes. I never experienced Twitch in that mindset. I kind of did a little bit, but it was already kind of phasing it out because Twitch was already growing pretty big as a platform. So whether or not this is on the same level as Twitch was when it started out, I can't say specifically because I didn't go through that. But I will say that from when I started on Twitch to where Kick is right now, Kick has Twitch beat, my own personal experience-wise. Whereas I'm not going to obviously diss YouTube because, like I said, I was doing fine over on YouTube, and I probably would still be there and maybe have panned over here to Kick, but I still would be focusing on YouTube if my account hadn't got hacked. So, you got to, make lemons out of freaking elephant turds or lemonade out of elephant turds. Sometimes you got to roll with the punches. I've gone through a lot of stuff that would cause a lot of content creators to just stop dead in their tracks and not even make any more content and just call it quits. But I kept grinding away, and we're here. Sometimes you got to pick yourself up from the ground and from ground zero and start all over again, whether it's intentional or not. Not mean to pat myself on the back, but I'll go ahead and do that for myself real quick. But yeah, so I do think YouTube is actually a pretty decent platform to grow on as well. But I will say that, and they're working on it. Facebook, and I've said this before, Twitch started off as, and the reason why Twitch was so massive when it comes to streaming is because Twitch was created from the ground up to be a streaming platform. day one. YouTube was not. Facebook was not. It's something they have implemented over the years. Like, well, Facebook bought up Mixer and it became Facebook Gaming. YouTube was basically like a VOD kind of a platform. They're basically uploading videos and stuff, and then they incorporated stream because they wanted to dip their fingers in it. Now they're slowly updating, and they're doing the work. Don't get me wrong, I'm not Disney's guys. They're doing the work. They're putting the time in to make the discoverability of the platform, to give them their content creators the tools that they need to make it a more viable platform to stream on. They're constantly working on it. It's a work in progress. They're doing the work. That's what I was talking about before, even before Kick became a thing. I feel like Facebook Gaming and YouTube were on the uphill trajectory of helping out their creators while Twitch was on the downhill, because they were no longer keeping their creators and consumers, giving them, doing what's best for them and keeping them at the top of their priority. It was just like, we're just going to let status quo be what it is and just let it degrade and just freaking hopefully it doesn't burn out before we get as much money out of it as possible. So I felt like Twitch was going down while YouTube and Twitch was still higher than them, but it was two opposite trajectories. But so YouTube and Facebook are obviously good platforms to be on, but when it comes just to all around discoverability, the newness of the platform, a lot of people coming over here from scratch, because even like big time content creators, unless they're bringing like a crap ton of people over from other platforms, you're gonna have people that like me that have been streaming for years that are coming over here with basically next to nothing. So they're gonna be at that level the same as you. So because there's not like a lot of people are just massive channels and just freaking blowing people up. Like they're talking about, like Ordy was talking about and Kryz was, discoverability and dashboard, where you're dealing with hundreds of people in front of you on the dashboard that have already hundreds and thousands of freaking viewers, and you're knocked down there. The chance of being discovered are a lot better because we're all pretty close to each other at this stage right now. You wait a freaking like another 5-6 months. We were just talking about like literally the consumer base has doubled in just a handful of freaking weeks on here. Weeks. It's only going to get bigger unless something freaking happens, some sort of crap hits the fan. So delaying coming over here is not going to be beneficial to you. It's not. If you're like, well, I'm going to stand back and wait to see if it catches fire. It's going to catch fire, but not in the way you're thinking it will. It's going to be lit and it's going to take off. And at that point, you're going to have a heck of a lot more competition to be dealing with than you'd have to right now. Mm-hmm. So in my thought process, there's no point in delaying. Even if you're like multi-streaming like Kryz is doing right now and going on 2 different platforms, that's what you want to do, fine. But get on the bandwagon now before it gets much later.
Yeah, take the chance. Take it. Yep. Who knows? Take it. Do it. Yeah, just do it. Like I said, I'm on a what if factor. What if? Let's see. Make it work.
Yeah.
Just got to grind it out, though. Ups and downs. Got to push through it.
Mm-hmm. Because if Eliminate can make it, anybody can make it.
All right, I got one quick question for you guys.
All right, sir.
All right, well, it's kind of 2 questions, but all right, how old are you, Kryz?
I am 32.
How old are you, Eliminate?
Is the next question gonna be my social security number?
No.
Okay.
No. How old are
you? I'm 37. I'm gonna be 38 in October.
38, right? So I'm 44. When do you guys
44?
think? Yeah, I'm 44.
God, dude, you got 1 foot in the retirement home. Jeez.
Bro, I know. When do you think it's over?
When the fat lady sings. So, Kryz, like, if you want to put on a wig and start warm up,
you stream until you die. Because okay,
in all seriousness, you're asking like, is there a point where
you know what I'm saying? Like, because I look at here's my deal, right? I'm 44 years old, and I look at other 44-year-olds, and I'm like, is there something wrong with me, or is there something wrong with them? Because I don't have that mentality that my age group has, right? I'm very immature. I like to joke. I like to joke around. Like, things make me laugh, right? And I think that laughter is kind of needed in the world. So that's my goal, is to make people laugh. So, but I'm sitting here thinking, I'm fucking approaching 50, right? Am I gonna be a 50-year-old streamer? Like, is that what I'm doing? Is there like a sense of the streamer's mortality, right? So where do you see yourself? For you there, Mr. Eliminate, you're 30, almost 38, right? 37, you said, almost 38, right? So
it's 30, almost 38. Yeah, that's a big jump. Yeah, no, I'm 37, almost 38.
37, almost 38, right? So I would say that we're like in 5 years, you still going?
I identify as an 18-year-old, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You still going in 5 years?
In 5 years, I mean, anything's possible, dude. Would I like to be? Sure. I would love.
I know life gets in the way, but I'm talking about with your age, right?
Would I like to be doing this in 5 years? Do I anticipate myself doing this?
Thanks, Neff Swiss. Appreciate you. Chill vibes. Yep.
And to be honest with you, when you're talking about the age thing, I actually get a huge hoot and kick out of seeing, like, I'm talking not like, you know, as old as you are, Ordy. I'm talking
God
about
damn,
like
bro.
seeing like, would you let me finish, damn it?
As old as
I'm
you are.
70, like I'm talking about, yeah, I meant to mean it negatively. I'm like, as old as you are. I was gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah.
older.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
I
freaking
gotcha.
read between the
That's fine.
lines. But anyways, now I'm talking about like I've seen some people over here on Kick streaming that are like 70, 80 years old, man, on freaking streaming. And I am just stopping by their streams just to check them out because I'm like, dude,
Mhm.
because it's one thing for us, because we grew up, our age range, we kind of grew up in that freaking technological transformation. I remember back in the day where video games, I remember living in a house that didn't have any internet, didn't have a freaking cell phones, there were landlines, there were freaking answering machines.
It wasn't invented.
You went outside. Yeah, like NASA had freaking NASA had computers, but it was like freaking a whole warehouse full of freaking like hardware to freaking make it work. It just didn't exist. When I tell people that, especially kids nowadays, like, oh my gosh. Tell us what it was like to freaking go hunt the dinosaurs. Well, tell us what it was like to hunt the dinosaurs with a spear. It's like they don't have any relation to the fact I lived through the technological transformation. Literally in the span of 10 to 15 years, everything changed. We had cell phones, we had internet, we had all this freaking technology, and it's just getting more and more and more and more advanced.
Mhm.
So for somebody like us, our age range, it's not so uncommon for us to be freaking streamers. Because we grew up in the age of video games and technology, and we've grown up and seeing it freaking change. My freaking mind is blown by people like the old school, even though maybe not old school gamers, but people, if they are, the people who grew up on like the arcade machines, like Doc's age, you know, or even older. They decide to get in and just take the video game thing for a whirl, take the streaming thing for a whirl because maybe they're retired, they have nothing better to do with their life, and they just want to freaking entertain them some way. Whatever the case is, I get a hoot. And I'm entertained as hell watching these older freaking people play video games, dude, and streaming it. So I don't think there actually is. I actually think it's more beneficial for us as older people to be streaming because it just speaks to your love for video games, even at an old age. It's not something you grew out of. That you actually, it's something that's held on to you for a long time.
There's a streamer that I watch on TikTok because she comes up frequently because I follow her. I forgot what her name is. I think it's like Grandma Streamer or something like that, or Grandma Call of Duty, something like that. 60-some-year-old, yeah, something like that. Cracked in Call of Duty, cracked. Oh yeah. And I'm sitting there like, this is enjoyable, and she's having fun. Man. I love this. This is listen, dude. I'm gonna be 80 years old, tatted up, like. We're out here playing video games till, you know, that's it. I don't want to do it no more, but that's highly not going to be the case. So we're here to stay.
Like the question of like, you know, I'm sitting here, you know, and I'm like, how long am I going to do this for? And it's not that I'm getting bored with it. I love it. Like this is what I look forward to doing every fucking day that I stream. Right. And I have, you know, my schedule, like this is my schedule. I look forward to it. Right. And I'm just kind of like, at what point, I guess I'm kind of questioning my own like maturity level, maybe.
I get what you're saying. It's like, all right, am I gonna be 65 years old still streaming? Is that like the case? Essentially, right? Am I gonna be 70 years old still streaming? And me in my head, I'm like, why not? Yeah. You know, in my head, I'm like, why not?
There's a mentality though, and I really struggle against this, and I caution people about it that when people consider video games equals immaturity, and I don't think that's the case.
No, and I don't think that's the case. I'm not equating video game streaming to immaturity, but
that phrase did come up just now, and I'll just make sure. I know that's what you meant, but I got to make sure other people know that as well. Are there immature people that play video games? 100%. But there's also immature people that freaking play football and basketball and freaking race and golf or freaking run motocross or freaking box.
Yeah, I'm not equating it to
that. No matter where you are, people just associate video games with immaturity because it's something that you see a lot of kids doing. And for some reason, when you become an adult, because
you're not supposed to play games anymore.
You're not supposed to play games anymore. Yeah. It's like, so it's okay for somebody to go out and golf for hours and hours on end, multiple freaking days a week if they can, invest hundreds and thousands of dollars into freaking membership fees, these golf courses, freaking
can't
clubs,
forget the golf wardrobe either, because it makes you play better.
I mean, hell, dude, just getting a freaking getting a polo.
You know, it's funny. I just played golf today too.
By itself, and you get a decent one. So So it's like the fact that you're out there. Well, at least you're getting exercise, dude. I'm sweating my ass off in this chair half the time when I'm playing. It's like a damn sauna in here because my air conditioning's not going well enough. Believe me, my vocal cords get a nice workout when I'm streaming. If you don't believe it, come by my streams. This right arm, man, I'm freaking.
Whoa! What is OnlyFans?
Exactly. So.
I was
gonna thinking about that.
Oh man, I lost my train of thought. That was funny.
Still boarding at the station.
What was I gonna say, man?
Something about immaturity or whatever. Or
Yeah.
whatever
So
we're talking about.
how funny how time changes society sometimes, because I remember growing up where there'd be people who play a video game nonstop, and you would equate, well, where I'm from, you would be like, oh, he's a bum, he just stays in his room playing video games all day, he does nothing, this and that, blah blah blah. And it's just so funny now being, my age and looking back, and it's just like there's an outlet now for these people who enjoy playing video games that are really good at the game. And then, it's just like, I look back at people and be like, man, if they were now, that age now, they would been professional at some type of game, or a professional streamer, professional, esports player, who knows, and but time has changed. I mean, it's always going to change, it's always going to evolve, and I hope to be that 80-year-old guy, man, just grinding out on some GTA,
Loudest guy in the nursing home.
with my grandkids. Exactly, there you go. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like,
but like
Kryz, your family's here to visit you again. Tell them to come back in half an hour. I almost got this love of me.
That's when I get up at.
I remember my parents. Like, I grew up with like, my very first video game was in television, and a lot of you have to Google it, right? But that was like, my dad bought it, and then I had a fight for a Nintendo, like, when it came out. And I finally got the Nintendo. But I remember my parents like, you need to study, you need to do schoolwork, video games, they're not going to pay you, blah, blah, blah. But you're fucking wrong, Mom and Dad. You were fucking wrong, right? You fucked me up. I lost my calling, right?
Look at me now.
You held me back, right? Like,
it even stumps me. It even stumps me, just getting paid out just to play video games. I'll just stop myself. I'm telling my friends, they'll be like, oh, you get paid? And I'm like, yeah, and I'll show them, and they'll be like, dude, you get paid for video games? And I'm like, yeah, I get paid for video games. I'm like, what? It's insane, but I enjoy it, man. This is such a great journey, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It definitely is. I would 100% agree with that. It's like, and that's something that's when I said, when it comes to like caution people, when it comes to like their goals and stuff, when it comes to streaming and stuff over here. Obviously, we want to make money. Obviously, it's one of the byproducts of it and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we've already touched base on this a few times already. You gotta enjoy the journey, man.
Mhm.
You gotta be in it. You gotta be enjoying it from day one. Obviously, set goals for yourself. Bless you, baby. You want to be setting goals for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with
Thank
that.
you.
And you want to. And my wife was sneezing, but yeah, that's fine. Freaking smart asses over here. You gotta sneeze for me. Time to take that blessing back. I was like, but yeah, just you guys gotta enjoy it. You're gonna miss so much along the way if you put all that on yourself, guys. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's one of those things where for me, because you guys were even talking about and touching base with the whole immaturity concept and that kind of thing, and the age aspect of it. For me, this is something that I didn't really get to do a lot when I was a kid. When a lot of my friends like had freaking gaming consoles and they were out freaking, oh, Nate's gonna tell a sob story. Yeah, you're here, so shut up and deal with it. The way I had I grew up and I didn't have a chance to really, outside of going to my friend's house, play a lot of freaking video games and that kind of stuff. I just didn't get to do it. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. When I go, the thing is they owned it. So when I went to their house, they want to go outside and play. I was like, hell no, dude, stay inside and freaking play some video games. And that's all I wanted to do because I couldn't afford to do it. And whenever we went to Toys R Us, you guys know, we went to the video game department. They had that video game thing up in the air that you literally, all my neck problems I have now as an adult, I freaking tested that where you have your neck cranked up like this because you're so damn short and you're holding the freaking controller. COVID was nothing back again. Kids were freaking licking those controllers, man. You
and they were always broken, the button.
The button was stuck because some kid came in there with ice cream and got stuck on the freaking button, so it wasn't even working. I can't experience the game. Yeah. But anyway, so I enjoyed the hell out of freaking video games. But like I said, until I was like, I didn't know my first console until I was like 15 or 14 or whatever it was. Now it's like a Nintendo 64. And but like I said, because I grew up pretty freaking damn poor. So the fact that I'm an adult now and can actually afford with my own money to invest into this and be able to take part of this hobby that I was never able to do as a kid is a huge factor for me as well. And I have a wife, an amazing, wonderful wife who's talking in the background now. Who never ceases to remind me how amazing she is. Yes, she's amazing.
Puts up with your
We're
shit.
still looking for the podcast, but yes. But when you asked me, dude, like how long I see myself like doing this for, like I said, it's kind of a question mark for me. But I will say,
your wife said they're listening tomorrow.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. The thing is, it's come a long way too, because when we first got married, there was a lot less basically support in that regard, and that whole avenue of like me getting on freaking gaming in general. And we have our lives have changed so much over the last 14, 15 years of marriage now that we she's one of my biggest supporters, like literally. I mean, when it comes to like it's amazing the change that's happened in a lot of ways. I just wouldn't be here doing this without her in a lot of ways. So I mean, I love her for it. But like I said, when it comes to like my lifetime, my life cycle on here, I'm gonna at least get hopefully a few more years out of it, because I just bought this brand new PC a few weeks ago that I had built from scratch for $3,000. So it's an investment. I can't just turn around and stop now.
Yeah.
So, that's it. You're stuck. You're stuck.
You're
stuck with the rest of us. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my first console was a Sega Genesis. Yeah, and
they had cartridges.
Yeah, I built my first PC at 18. It was always, on the cheaper end of things because I'd never had money. I would have to go out and work multiple jobs. But last year was the first time, actually building my gaming rig that I always wanted. And it's such a cool thing to do, man, and just take advantage of it too. Yeah, so you just sit back and you're like, oh, let's go.
So Kryz, the first PC you built, was it MS-DOS or Windows 95?
95? No, it was 98.
Oh, it's Windows 98?
Yeah.
There you
My
go.
first computer was MS-DOS. It was a Tandy 1000.
Dude. The green screen, baby.
No, it was color because I had Chuck Yeager's Flight Simulator on there and Blue Max.
Oh, wow.
And all that stuff.
No, the games were in color. I'm just talking about to activate the games.
The green
and that
screen,
was great because you had to freaking put the floppy disk in.
You had to put it in.
Code.
Type the slash with the freaking D drive.
Oh, the floppy disk, man. People don't know the freaking floppy disk. It's like, you had to pop out the floppy disk. It says when you can reach a certain point, please insert next floppy disk.
Yep.
So if you're missing out of the 20 floppy disks you had, you're missing floppy disk 11.
Yeah.
You're screwed because you can't put in 12 until you reach the end of 11. So it's like the whole second half of the game you can't freaking play. You guys have no idea the crap we had to deal with back in the day.
The reason why I built my first PC is because I'm a huge Total War guy, and Total War Empire came out, and I had a gateway, and I put the game in,
the old
and it did not even play, and I'm sitting there and I'm like,
dude.
I just spent all this money on this game and it's not working, and what am I gonna do? And I built the PC for the first time with my buddy just to play that game.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
It was so aggravating.
Yeah, back in
I remember
those days,
playing
man, there was a lot of technical support. You had to figure it out on your own.
I remember playing Total War Shogun, the first one, and it's all pixelated, and I went back after playing Shogun 2. It was pixelated, and I'm like, wow, we've come a long way. I'm like, holy smokes.
The character that built in us as old school gamers,
insane.
Man. It's freaking nuts.
Like looking at the games that we play now, right? Like Star Citizen. Like you look at that game and you're just like when I first played that game, I was like, how is this happening? My brain was breaking. Like I couldn't understand.
You don't even know how it's happening either. If you played the game, you don't even know. They don't even know what's happening because it doesn't even work half the time.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'm saying when it's besides its errors, right? Well, like my first time playing, I left the space station. The people that was showing me around, they got arrested. So they're at Klesher, and they're like, "We're breaking out. Come get us." I was like, "I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." Right? I think I left Grim Hex. People are outside Grim Hex shooting. I fucking just fly out, right? It's a free to fly event. And some guy pops into my stream. He's like, what are you guys doing? I was like, oh, I'm fucking trying to save them. And he's like, I'll help you. He's like, meet me here. He's like, so he adds a party. I meet him. He's got an 890. He's like, land on the ship. I was like, okay. So I fucking landed to the ship. The hangar's going down. I'm walking around the ship and we take off. And then we're in the plane. Like, why? How? Like there's no load screen. Like how is this working? Like I don't understand it. Like it was
Yeah.
just destroying me. Like I just couldn't. Like my brain couldn't process. Like I was like, this game is insane.
That's
You know, like,
freaking
that's
great,
where we
dude.
came from. Like where we had the cartridges and the fucking 27 fucking floppy disk. You know, like and you're missing one or it's fucking bent or whatever the case may be, and you can't even fucking play it. Like it's insane how far we
Yeah.
have come in the gaming industry. It's
Yeah,
just crazy.
I
That's
watched
what
the
we're talking
video
about, the
on
evolution of
YouTube.
gamers and stuff.
Yeah, I watched a video on YouTube of Unreal Engine 5, and it's in a forest, and it looks so realistic, and I'm like, holy shit, this is scary. It's scary in
Yeah.
a good way, because it's like from what we used to play on and the games we used to play, but like when you hear Apple coming out with their VR headset, granted,
God.
and the Oculus and all these
That's a
VR
whole other
headsets,
podcast.
and you have these graphics that are going to be incorporated in these things. It's like, I mean, is this the new Matrix, the birth of the Matrix?
Yeah, I mean,
It's Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. Yeah, Ready Player One.
It's only going to get more and more advanced, dude. It's only going to be more advanced. I mean, hell, they already have the freaking stations that people can literally those silver or whatever tarnished bowls that they can stand in front as long as you have your socks and you have the straps and you can literally run in place with a VR headset on, and even though you're staying in one position, you're actually interacting with the game and moving around. That's the kind of thing we're talking about, like Ready Player One, where you're interacting and actually moving and your body is experiencing the whole motion of going through the game, but you're not actually going anywhere.
Razer's also they're trying to develop a haptic suit. Don't know if they finally finished it, but it's a haptic suit.
Experience, like
you can actually feel things.
Yeah.
They're actually kind of have it already.
And they're starting to incorporate fucking they're starting to incorporate AI into NPCs.
Yes, right. I saw that too.
Yeah. So
your experience is not going to be scripted. It's going to change.
Yep.
Like that's
wild, man. Yeah.
It's fucking scary almost, right?
Then they take over the servers of the game, and then before you know it, then we have
Skynet.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say we got Terminator going over here. Haven't you guys watched the movies?
I just watched Part 2 yesterday, actually.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay, well, gentlemen, we have been going for a little. We just reached the 3-hour mark, and we kind of got a little off topic there at the end. No freaking problem. No big issue there because we're having 4 more hours. Well, if you showed up on time, Orty, you would have had like an hour and a half more.
Well, that's fine.
Anyways, so that being the other question being, who do we want to raid tonight there, Kryz? Yeah, I know you got some people in your stream. I'm also live streaming as well. I think we should co-host somebody. So
we're gonna co-host.
Is there somebody you want to do? Somebody just chatting, or do you think we should do somebody in like a game that we both enjoy? Somebody we can go show some love to this evening.
Do you have anybody live right now? I'm actually gonna go through my list right now.
I have people that are live. Let me actually pull up real quick and see who's live at the moment here.
Oh yeah, we got Showboy. We can host. We'll do a double host.
See, I got Freak Destroyer, Judge Ricker. I got this guy called Kryz. I don't know if I want to host his ass.
No, dog, he's terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible with answering messages.
Like he's full of himself.
Yeah,
He looks like he's really arrogant.
He looks like a loser.
Appreciate that sub there, Classic. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Oh, that's something else that I really want to see. Talking about the one last thing about Kick. Hopefully, they get the freaking mobile app updated soon because
yeah.
Like right now,
so
Classic
annoying.
was just asking me, how do I sub to you on mobile? I'm like, you can't. You can't sub to me on mobile. You can't even see my About Me page on Kick that's full of information about me. You can't even see that. You can't interact with it. Like, all you can do is chat, and even sometimes that doesn't freaking work. So, before they do anything else in the dashboard for the main webpage, the mobile app needs a serious overhaul. It just does. It's really
thank you.
frustrating. So, wait, who are we rating, sir?
Well, there's Trill Boy we can raid.
Who's that? Is that somebody you know? Somebody you already?
Yeah.
What's it? How you type in his name?
Trill Boy, TRILL. He's playing Counter Strike.
TRILLBOY.
And I'm pretty TRILLBOY. Yeah.
BOY. Trill Boy. Okay.
Yeah. And this is gonna be funny because he's
streaming.
His first time playing CS:GO.
Okay. He's playing CS:GO. It's Friday. Keep the D hard. Okay. Well, that sells it right there for me. Anyways, all right. So let's let me go ahead and freaking pull him up here real quick as a potential host channel. Trill Boy. All right, so I have him pulled up here. All right. So before I go over and freaking host real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and close down the Discord call here real quick, guys, and then do my little outro that I
Yep,
usually do
me
at the end
too.
of my streams.
Hey, Kryz,
But-
nice
Perfect.
meeting
Hey,
you.
Orty. Nice meeting you
First,
too, man.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow each other. Once again, guys, I'm gonna say this real quick before we dip out for the night. Orty down here. I'm sure in a different position on his compared to everybody else, but on my screen he's here and Kryz is here.
Yeah.
So it's like the freaking what is it? The not the
I
Waltons.
feel like this
it
is
the
the Brady
Waltons?
Bunch.
The Brady Bunch is what it is. Here's a story of
Yeah,
lovely
yeah.
Chrissy, and he goes
Yeah,
popping
yeah.
in, you know. Anyways, but I appreciate both you guys taking the time to be here tonight, obviously.
Thank you for the
Like I
invite.
Thank you.
I
Thank you for having me.
yeah, glad that we were actually able to get you in here, Orty. As you guys said, like I said, same thing I said about Redcon. You guys already saw these guys are amazing content creators. Definitely worth a follow. Definitely worth some love. I've been spamming their freaking links in the chat all night. And my mods have been doing the same thing. So please, guys, if you haven't done so already, go over and show these guys some love. Drop their ass a follow. You will not be disappointed in hanging
Maybe
out with
a
these
little
guys. And
bit.
no matter what the hell they're freaking playing, entertaining as hell. And these guys are amazing content creators over here. And I've been enjoying being a part of their content and watching them grow as well. Like these guys are killing it. And
Likewise,
looking
man.
forward to some more
Thank you.
growth.
You're
over
killing
here,
it
guys.
too,
It's
bro.
been crazy. So thank
Ditto.
you guys. Let's do. Obviously, it's not something we're gonna do a lot of. I mean, I enjoyed tonight, but we definitely want to wait for like maybe a certain subject to come up, something that maybe even a next announcement Kick makes, something like that. Maybe it'd be worth us getting together and talking about it again, and we'll go from there. But I wouldn't be against doing something like this in the future. I hope you guys aren't either. But
No,
I had fun
absolutely
tonight.
not.
Tonight was freaking fun. First time doing
Whenever
something like
whenever Twitch takes an L, I'm down. You give me a call, I'm in.
Okay. Well, next
I'm
we
there.
were supposed to start talking about Twitch. It's supposed
I'm
to be about
there.
Kick tonight, but
No,
yeah, we'll make
no,
it
yeah,
all
no.
Twitch next time.
No.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your evening. And
You too, man.
I'll be lurking you guys stream tomorrow if you guys are live, obviously. So have a good rest of your weekend and stay cool. All
All
right.
right, you too, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peace out, guys. And I will
All right,
catch
guys.
you
All right,
guys
Orty.
later.
Take care.
All right.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Later. Nice. Likewise.
Hello there.
All right, we're back. Hey, thank you guys so much. Sorry about Classic IQ. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Orty for the follow as well. Chill Vibes Gaming. I appreciate you being here and hanging out throughout the podcast. Sorry, I wasn't too engaging with you. We're trying to get into some deep conversation, so let me try to catch up here. It's also my parents in their 70s, and they call me every day just to ask how streaming is going, and I've made friends and all that. That's the one most satisfying part for me. Abacus, who remembers? Oh, yeah, Replica for the Matrix demo. It's insane. Lama Twitch L's are great. Yeah. That's why I said I was like, anytime Twitch takes an L, I'm definitely there. I'll do a show. But I appreciate you being here, man, and hanging out. And like I said before, man, I don't know much about anything. Like I'm still fairly new to this streaming world, but I'm here to help and here to help others out too, so I try to stop in everybody's stream when I have time and hang out and be part of people's communities. And yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate the follows and Show Vibes Gaming for being here as well. I appreciate you. I was gonna go Daft Digit, thank you for stopping by. Let's go. Also there was someone else too. Redcon, thank you. Bodega that came through. XQC trash. Oh, also too, I apologize on the YouTube end. I know I started on YouTube. I wanted it to be a Kick event, but I didn't know I had to personally stream though too. So I know that there's probably chat. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry on the YouTube end. I didn't have my chat pulled up. I had the simulcast on and I couldn't start the Kick cap, and it was kind of like a last second thing to pop up the stream. I apologize on that end to you guys, but I appreciate everybody who stopped by to hang out. I was gonna go just eat something and then hop back on and play some games, but I'll be on tomorrow. I think I am, or I'll probably just hop back on in a little bit and play some Call of Duty. I'm not too sure, but right now we're gonna be hosting Trillboy. He's playing some CS:GO. Yeah, thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit that follow button on Kick and on YouTube too. Like I said, I apologize. I had to start up the stream, and I had to start up Kick and YouTube. There was nothing I could do, and it was last second, so I apologize on that end. But Eliminate just hosted Trill Boy. I'm going to be hosting him as well. We're doing a double host. But Chill Vibes, thank you so much for coming through, and everybody else. But there was somebody else who I saw too. I know I said Daft Digit. There was Bodega. Who else was the one person who came in? And oh, Cat. We got Cat. Yeah. Cat. And Puff ASMR too as well with the lurk. Let's go. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. We're gonna be hosting some Drill Boy and show some love. Appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much. It's your boy Kryz, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Later.